The Greyhound Sports Network is live from Boerne, Texas with Greyhound football.
Make it clap.
The Beeville Jones Trojans take on our Greyhounds in the 2020 football season opener. Get ready. Boerne High School football on the Greyhound Sports Network starts now.
It hasn't been easy to get here, but here we are, ready for the start of the 2020 Texas high school football season. And the season kicks off between the Boerne Greyhounds and the Beeville Jones Trojans. District foes the last 2 years, facing off in Week 1 at Boerne ISD Stadium tonight. On the Greyhound Sports Network, welcome to Boerne, Texas. Coming to you live from the Hill Country. Brant Freeman alongside Kerry Barbosa. And Kerry, there are many questions about whether or not there would be a Texas high school football season. Yet here we are for what should be a very intriguing Week 1 matchup.
Yeah, I agree. This season is so different than any other season because of the other things you mentioned, like the COVID. And talking to the players, talking to the coaches, and not just the coaches of football, but from other sports, they're so excited to be back in school and to be on the field. And these guys want to play their senior season, especially those guys out there, the seniors. They don't want their season to end like the seniors had it last year. They want to be out there. They want to play. So there's a whole level of excitement that we haven't seen before.
Let's talk about the Boerne Greyhounds. 7 wins a year ago, and they got phenomenal play out of the quarterback, Rashawn Galloway, last year. He's a special talent. Back for his junior season this year.
Yeah, first year as a starter. Last year he did make the varsity as a freshman. They moved him up for some playoff games. He did very well. And last year he took that starting role and did great. And he's really kind of the heart and soul of that team. He's a great athlete. He's a starter in football, basketball, and baseball. He's a D1 commit in baseball to Texas State. So that's the kind of athlete he is. And kind of as he goes, that's how the team goes. So he's a big thrower. He doesn't run so much. He can run. He is a running threat, but they like him to stay in that pocket and throw that ball, and they're going to need him tonight against a good Beeville team.
Now, as for the Beeville Trojans, a special year last year for the first time in team history, an undefeated regular season going 10-0, and of course, one of those wins came right here at Boerne ISD Stadium over the Greyhounds. That slot T offense of Chris Souza's is very tough to stop.
Yeah, Chris Souza is a coach that Boerne's familiar with. He was at Medina Valley where they played champion, and then they also played Boerne in non-district. And he held his own against Boerne schools. He did well against them. So they run that slot T. It's tough to stop. Boerne and the Beeville Jones, they split their 2 games. Boerne won 2 years ago. Beeville won here last year, like you said. And it's a pretty even matchup. It has been over the last 2 years, and I don't see why it's not going to be any different this year. I think it's going to be a great ball game. I think it's going to come down to the very end.
Again, it is the Greyhounds and the Trojans. It is the kickoff to the 2020 Texas high school football season, and it's coming up next on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
Basket is the great equalizer.
Never even seen this before.
Curveball.
Nobody would eat this.
To be the best or consider the best, you have to win against the best.
I've been preparing for it my whole life.
Who's the best chef in the room? We're going to witness greatness.
All new, Chopped, Tuesday night at 9 on Food Network.
Watch Food Network, GVTC, Channel 563.
If you want to train like the athlete, and I mean truly train like a professional athlete, you come to D1.
Athletes are the staple of what we want to be. You want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to have a smile on your face, you want to be energetic when you walk into places, and just have a presence about you. And so I think D1 creates that atmosphere, and they understand the opportunity they have in taking these individuals and making them better.
D1 Boerne, the place for the athlete.
This place is going to change the way I play the game.
Hi, I'll take the Charger
I'm going to get the
burger.
Greyhound burger, please.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Charger burger. Mushrooms, Swiss, caramelized onions.
Greyhound burger. Bacon and American cheese.
Charger burger.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Hey guys, you can like both of them at the same time.
We'll take 2.
Dine in for a Charger burger, curbside takeout, a Greyhound burger. We're open. Dog and Pony Grill.
What's up, boys?
Time to talk ball.
Let's talk about the Nationals. Pitching is still king. We got to get Mike Trout to the playoffs.
The Yankees they're loaded. He wants to win that Cy Young, and he's going to win that Cy Young.
Do you like pimping home runs?
I love all that stuff. Sometimes you got to let them know who hit it.
Watch FS1, GVTC, Channel 515.
Get ready for the next big treasure hunt. People are bidding for boxes of returns to online retailers and reselling the items for profit.
Yes!
But it's not all fun and games.
Sometimes you could get junk. You never know until you unbox it.
Extreme Unboxing. All new Tuesdays at 10 on A&E.
Watch A&E, GVTC, Channel 558.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, people have all kinds of things that could be worth big money right in their own home. That's why we're traveling the country virtually. So dust off your items, show us what you've got, and let us answer the question, what's it worth? A new series Tuesday at 9 on A&E.
Watch A&E, GVTC, Channel 558. Watch FS1, GVTC, Channel 515.
And we are back at Boerne ISD Stadium. It is the 2020 season opener between the Boerne Greyhounds and the Beeville Jones Trojans. Again, last year, Boerne 7-4. That was year 2 for Che Hendricks. Ready for year 3 here at Boerne High School. The Trojans a year ago, 11-1. And Chris Souza returned back to Beeville Jones High School last year and is ready for year 2 here for the Trojans. This was a district game last year. Of course, tonight, Carey, a non-district affair, but a great early season test for both teams.
Yeah, very evenly matched series when they were in the district together. Split, each winning on the other team's home field. So it's been a pretty good matchup over the years, the last 2 years. And so I think this will be the same thing tonight. I think it's going to come down. I think defense is going to be key. Can the Greyhounds get that run-heavy offense off the field and get their guy, Galloway, on the field to lead their offense and try to score some points?
The Greyhounds won the coin toss. They'll have the football first here tonight. So we'll get a chance to see Rashawn Galloway right away here this evening. And Coach Hendricks, again, calling tonight's game a great test for his team. Can they, as Carey said, both stop the run and establish the run themselves? We're going to find out here as Caleb Washington kicks off the 2020 season. Return man for Boerne, Matt Mahalik. Great athletic receiver into the open field. Mahalik's got some blocks, and he's inside of midfield, taken down by the kicker. Good start for Boerne.
Great return by Mahalik. Just found the seam down that sideline. He gets him in great starting position here inside Beeville territory on their first drive.
Mahalik, second team All-District last year. Top returning receiver from a year ago. And now we'll look at the quarterback, Rashawn Galloway, the junior, also named second team All-District last year. Put up over 2,300 yards through the air, throwing for 24 touchdowns. 5 of them came in the first-round playoff win over Hidalgo. First play this season is a run for Scott Hetty. Had just 1 carry all of last season. Carey replaces a really good rusher, Brandon Seifert, from a year ago.
Yeah, wasn't a running back much, like you said. He was more of a defensive guy last year, and so this is kind of new for him being in that running back spot. He's a big, thick guy. He's a soccer player as well for the Greyhounds.
Got moved from linebacker to running back. The expectation is that he and J.P. Castro will split carries, but carries like that for Hetty will earn him some more. A first down inside the 40. And a good second down play for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, got a very nice block on that right side of that offensive line. Opening up there, gets out into the second level, get inside the 40-yard line here.
You look at the offensive line, that right side anchored by Austin Locke and James Stewart. a couple of all-district players from last year. Boerne expects to get good push up front from the right side this season. First completion of 2020 is good to the 30-yard line, and that's Jackson Harper on the catch.
Harper's another guy who we saw a lot of last year on the replay here. You see the good arm by Galloway getting the ball out there quickly before the defender can come in and make the stop.
Again, in week one, you talk about who's back, who did you lose. You look at a receiver, Colin Fisher, a big part of the equation, not back here in 2020. Second leading receiver behind Mahalik a year ago. So big shoes to fill for Jackson Harper. Running play for Mahalik on the sweep. Another first down for Boerne inside the red zone before he is forced out by Isaiah Gonzalez. And the Boerne offense out to a really good start.
And I like that play. It's a little pitch forward, so it's actually a pass. And so if they have problems on the handoff, it's an incomplete pass. And they tell the officials before the game, we're going to run this play. We're just going to pitch it a yard, and it is a pass. So that was a good execution by the Greyhounds.
Coach Hendricks wants this offense to be fast and to be balanced. So far, we're seeing both of those things here in the first drive of the season. Mahalik, another touch of the football, takes a defender with him inside the 10. Victor Gonzalez, not enough to bring him down. He needs some of his friends to help, and the Greyhounds have goal to go.
Yeah, first of all, I see the arm by Galloway. He's got a cannon, and then you see Mahalik just breaking off tackles, not going down, gets inside first and goal here, Greyhounds.
Inside the 10, a little more than 2 minutes gone by. Opening drive for Boerne set up nicely by Mahalik on the return. Here's a handoff to Castro, to the edge, to the end zone. A 50-yard touchdown drive starts off 2020.
Great job by the Greyhounds, taking advantage of that short field, scoring. That's a great way to start the year, scoring on your first drive of the whole season.
Again, you talk about replacing. Brandon Seifert had more than 160 carries last year. Hetty and Castro had 6 combined. But both called upon on his first drive, and out comes the PAT unit. And Hetty, very good, kicking extra points last year, missed just 3 in 34 attempts. And doesn't miss here. So Boerne gets a good kick return and gets a touchdown drive. On top early, 7-0 on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
Beeville Trojans 0.
You want to train like the athlete, and I mean truly train like a professional athlete. You come to D1.
Athletes are the staple of what we want to be. You want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to have a smile on your face, you want to be energetic when you walk into places and just have a presence about you. And so I think D1 creates that atmosphere, and they understand the opportunity they have in taking these individuals and making them better.
D1 Boerne, the place for the athlete.
This place is going to change the way I play the game.
Hi, I'm going to get the Greyhound burger, please.
Greyhound burger, Charger burger, Charger burger, mushrooms, Swiss, caramelized onions.
Greyhound burger, bacon and American cheese.
Charger burger,
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger,
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Hey guys, you can like both of them at the same time.
We'll take 2.
Dine in for a Charger burger, curbside takeout, a Greyhound burger. We're open. Dog and Pony Grill.
And we talked about it. Coach Hendricks wants his offense to operate quickly, wants his offense to be balanced. And Kerry, we saw quick work with both the run and pass on the opening drive of the season.
Yeah, very impressive drive by the Greyhounds. If my stats are correct, they picked up 4 first downs on that drive, so they only ran 6 plays.
Short kick from Hetty and a fair catch made by Leroy Gonzalez. And we'll see Beeville's offense for the first time. And boy, you talk about wholesale changes for a football team. Look at quarterback. Seth Gomez, not back this year. Now it's Will Harper. A lot of the offensive line, a lot of the backfield. 5 of the team's top 6 rushers gone for last year for Beeville Jones. So Coach Sosa is going to get a feel for his team quickly here in the week 1 opener.
Yeah, and that's why you have a special year like 10-0 like they did during the regular season, because you're senior heavy. And when you have a lot of seniors, that usually ends up in a good season for you.
Again, this is a triple option slot T look. Gonzalez gets the first carry out of it, and a good tackle made in the backfield. Houston Hendricks, guess who? The coach's son makes the play on first down.
Did a good job. He was fighting off a block there, Hendricks was, and then he was able to shake off, get enough of the running back, slowed him down and brought him down. Good open field tackle.
The sophomore also listed as the backup quarterback behind Galloway. Boerne's rush defense at times last year struggled against these Trojans. Big night for Devin Palacios, running the football over 200 yards in the meeting last year, as Jalen Spicer is sliced down in the open field. Good tackle and out in space made by Matt Drange. It is 3rd and long for a run-heavy offense now.
Yeah, and what you're seeing is, looks like that was Braden Bays, but what you're seeing is Beeville's trying to go to the edge twice. And the Greyhound defense, they're showing their speed on defense. They have not let them get to the corner and turn it upfield, and they've gone backwards, Beeville has, on their first 2 plays.
So now Will Harper, who didn't see much time at quarterback last year, asked to convert 3rd down and 14. Harper steps up. Decent run, but nowhere near the first down. Tracking him down, Colton Patrick, and Boerne's defense an impressive opening stand.
Yeah, very good opening stand, like you said. Not giving the quarterback anywhere to go. Harper looking downfield. He does pick up a decent gain, like you said, but all he did is get it back to the original line of scrimmage.
So the Trojans now will punt the football away. Flag flies shortly after the huddle breaks.
Too many men. They had 12 men in the huddle.
Illegal substitution against the Trojans.
He's running off the field.
Yep.
And you can't break the huddle with 12 men.
Coach Souza looking off at the sidelines. Again, what a story for his program last year. 11-1 record. A perfect regular season, first time ever for Beeville Jones, but they got upset in the second round of the playoffs with a loss to El Campo. It was the program's first district title since 2016 and a 5-win improvement from the year prior. And the kick is away. Here is Mahalik on the return. Had a good kick return earlier as a flag flies. This is going to come back. Illegal block in the back will be the call here against Boerne. And the Greyhounds will start behind midfield.
Yeah, it's going to come back, like you said. First penalty by the Greyhounds this season. Beeville had one on that illegal substitution. So this is kind of a game where you're going to see things like that. You're going to see guys jumping. You're going to see mistakes. First game jitters type of thing. But I think, as the game goes, they start getting more comfortable out there.
Well, again, Kerry, let's talk about the simple fact that we are here tonight. Fans are in the stands. Football is being played. Everybody's trying to do their part, though, to make this happen in terms of social distancing. In fact, talking to Coach Hendricks, he made the comment to me, he has done more in terms of teaching social distancing guidelines than he has coaching over the past couple of weeks just to make sure this night could happen.
Yeah, and everyone's had to do their share to make all this happen. The teachers, the players, administrators, the fans have had to cooperate, everything. So it's been very different, like you said, as they're marking off the penalty here.
Coach Sosa, who's been coaching, whether as an assistant or a head coach now for close to 40 years, says that even though he has all this coaching experience, because of all of the circumstances surrounding the start of the season, he feels like a rookie again.
Yeah, because there's something new coming down the pike every week.
Boerne's second possession. Last drive went 50 yards, a J.P. Castro touchdown. Hetty gets the call on first down here for a few to bring up second down and 6.
Number 10, Elijah Marshall on the carry.
Elijah Marshall, beg your pardon, on that carry there for Boerne.
Tackle made by several Trojan defenders.
This Trojan defense could be stingy. A year ago, ask Boerne in the second half of this game. The Greyhounds were shut out in a 33-17 loss. That was the only game of the year Boerne held a lead at halftime and did not win. Feeling pressure, Galloway's pass at a tight window, complete to the tight end, Kobe Hunter. Tight end's a big part of this offense for Coach Hendricks.
Yeah, and Hunter, kind of a breakout year last year as a sophomore starting on varsity. He's kind of that hybrid tight end, kind of that Travis Kelce type, the big body. He can line up as a receiver. He's got great hands. You saw a nice throw by Galloway, connects with him. First down, move the chains.
Hunter and Jacob Ramirez, you will see both on the field at tight end several times throughout the season. Hetty breaks a tackle, charging inside of midfield, and he's got another Greyhound first down. Eventually slung down by Xavier Alleman. Boerne's offense has done nothing but go forward so far in 2 possessions.
Yeah, and I don't know whose idea it was to move Hetty to running back, but boy, whoever that was a genius, came up with the idea because he's been really impressive. Again, 1 carry last year, and he's already had 5 or 6, and he's done really well with the ball every time he's had the ball.
Fresh set of downs for Galloway and the offense. He's looking to throw. Downfield shot to Mahalik, left wide open. Mahalik down to the 20-yard line. Galloway has not misfired. The run game has not been stopped for a loss. Boerne's offense, again, is moving like clockwork right now.
Yeah, they're picking up a ton of first downs. Almost every play seems like it's been a first down for the Greyhounds in this first quarter. They kind of got Beeville back on their heels a little bit right now.
Again, Mahalik last year had over 40 catches for over 700 yards, 6 touchdowns. Back again for his junior season. The 2 sophomores last year, Galloway and Mahalik. What a combination in 2019. First down run for Castro. This one is stopped for no gain. Good defensive pursuit there for the Trojans, spearheaded by Bryce Foster. You talk about this Trojan defense. Foster is what makes them go.
Yeah, that's probably been their best defensive play of the night so far. It is early in the first quarter, but held the Greyhounds to no gain that time.
You made the comment, Kerry, during pregame warm-ups that Galloway seems to have filled out a little bit more over the offseason.
Yeah, he looks thicker. He looks like he's been in the weight room.
On second down, he fires a shot complete inside the 10. Down to the 6-yard line goes Xander Garrison. His first catch in 2020. Goal to go, again coming up for the Greyhounds.
And what you're seeing by Galloway, he's spraying the ball all over the field. He's hit Hunter, he's hit Garrison, he's hit Mahalik. You got Hetty's had the ball, so lot of different guys touching the ball for the Greyhounds.
Jackson Harper as well.
Got a sideline warning here. Made the Hounds back up a little bit.
More than halfway through this first quarter, Boerne's second possession, and the Greyhounds angling for their second touchdown. It's an offense that put up 30 or more 5 times a year ago, and should be an even more improved unit this season. It's Hetty. And chopped down to the 5, held a 1-yard pickup, and again it's Foster on the tackle. We've talked about great sophomores from last year. Well, Foster, as a sophomore linebacker, earned all-state honors for the Trojans.
Yeah, did a good job tripping up Hetty behind the line of scrimmage and just basically held him to no gain.
And now it's second and goal. Mahalik's in the slot here for Galloway, but Hetty gets the call, and he is shoved back. What a play by Dylan Farias. The junior D tackle got the penetration. Finally a TFL for the Trojans, and it's third and goal now.
Now this is the third play on this drive where Beeville's held either no gain, two no gains, and a loss that time. So they're figuring some things out on that front line against that Greyhound offense.
Third and goal from inside the 10. And Galloway looking back at the sidelines, maybe changing the look here for the Greyhounds. See a shift there in the backfield. Hetty now off to his right. Trojans showing a blitz, whistles blow. The play clock wound down to 0.
Yep, took a little too long. He might have changed the play, or there was a new play coming in from the sideline. Not sure exactly what happened, but just took a little too long.
So now the Greyhounds about 15 yards out, and that reminds me, Kerry, perhaps the most memorable 15-yard play for Boerne last year. Final play of the game, Galloway, a 15-yard scramble to beat Holy Cross in a wild finish.
Yep, last year, and he was trying to throw it, but nothing was open. He was going for a Hunter, couldn't find him, so he just tuck and run and ended up finding the end zone. They won it on the last play of the game.
3rd and goal, shot to Mahalik, the catch, the end zone again. So the Greyhounds, 15 yards out, still find a way on top, 13-0.
That's got to be, that's a tough one for the Beeville defense. They come up with a couple good plays in there, had them pinned back, 3rd and goal, all the way back to 14, and they give up a touchdown like that. So that's a little bit demoralizing, I think, for a defense.
So Galloway, 24 touchdown passes last year, has his first of 2020. And again, that a strike to Mahalik. On for the PAT is Hetty. After a low snap, Hetty's able to put it through. So Boerne exuding some dominance early. Greyhounds a 2-touchdown lead in the first quarter over the Trojans on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
Good job by Mahalik after the catch. He still had a couple yards to get, makes a nice cut upfield, gets in that end zone. Touchdown Greyhounds, and a great start. You couldn't draw it out any better than the way it started for the Greyhounds. And Beeville's they're in a tough spot right now. So they gotta come up with something right now to kind of slow down the Greyhounds and keep them off the field.
We do have more high school sports coverage coming your way on the Greyhound Sports Network. On Tuesday, September the 8th, the Greyhound volleyball team hosts Cornerstone Christian. First serve at 6 p.m. with live coverage again available here on GSN. Tisha Pettibon's group was off to a good start here in 2020.
Undefeated. And normally they would have played in Northside tournaments, big tournaments, Seguin tournament. Usually they play in those two every year. They host a tournament. They get 5A, 6A schools, and so they take some losses, but she doesn't mind playing the bigger schools. They can't do that right now. They can only play 4A in smaller. And 3 of their wins have been against 3A teams. But it's like Tisha says, a win is a win, and you don't give them back and you don't apologize for them. And they beat a good Lavernia team in Lavernia, went 5 sets the other night, and that was a good test for them because that was their first road game, and they came up with a good victory and still undefeated this year.
And again, volleyball teams limited to a 25-match schedule this year. Limits how much you can do in non-district. Here is the return for Gonzalez. Fair catch last time, chooses to return this time, and is stopped short of the 25-yard line. So the Trojan offense, which last year put up 40 or more 6 times in half of their games, went 3 and out, went backwards on their first possession tonight. And Coach Sosa, I know it's early, there's a lot of time left, but already down 14-0, wants to at least see some time and plays consumed here on this drive.
Yeah, and that's who they are. They're a time-consuming team. They've only had the ball 2 minutes. The Greyhounds have had it the rest and have scored twice.
So here is Will Harper, who again is replacing Seth Gomez at quarterback, the team's leading rusher from a year ago, at the controls of this offense. Boy, nowhere to go for this running game. Jalen Spicer, regarded as one of the top athletes in the Coastal Bend area, twice has been shut down for lost yardage tonight.
Yeah, and he's going right, and it looks like he's thinking about reversing the field right here. He's trying to come back the other way, but he sees the linebacker, and he says, no, I'm not. I'm going to keep going this way and just run out of bounds. And, again, trying to get to the edge and not able to against that Greyhound defense, showing a lot of speed. Good job by Ethan Hamby coming in the backside, making him continue in the direction he was going.
Good story about Hamby, too, by the way. Tore his ACL the first game of the season last year in last year's season opener. Back healthy this year, and Coach Hendricks has high expectations for him as that pass sail's incomplete. They thought going into his junior year, Kerry, he could be an all-state caliber player.
Yeah, and I know he only didn't play very much, like you said, and they're glad to have him back. And that was a great job by the Greyhound defense that time. The quarterback, he scrambled all the way back to the goal line, basically. So he threw it off his back foot, just throwing it away. So if you're Beeville, you don't have to panic. You still got a lot of game, but you got to get something going. You you know, when you're down 14-0, it's hard to be or stay a run team. You got to try to do some stuff through the air.
In a slot T offense, you've got to win first and second down.
Yep.
And avoid situations like this, 3rd and long. Harper chased. Harper is down. Tanner McCarter got the first hit on Harper, finished off by his teammate coming in, Houston Hendricks, and another 3 and out for the Trojan offense.
Yeah, he's rolling right. You see Marshall hits him, and then looks like Ward gets in there too, gets a shot on him. So a lot of guys just pursuing him, and nothing downfield. And you're kind of seeing a quarterback just trying to get comfortable back there, just trying to, first-time starter, trying to settle in, and Greyhound defense not giving him a whole lot right now.
Yeah, you're right. It was Marshall, not McCarter, who got the first hit. Marshall, the top returning linebacker from a year ago for Boerne, of course, lost Jeff Medina at linebacker. And this snap gets behind the punter. Nowhere to go, and this is going to result in a fumble. Ball recovered at the 1. Victor Gonzalez couldn't handle the snap, tried to make something happen, and in his efforts to avoid a safety, may have just put a touchdown on the tee for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, that's a case where he's probably go to the sideline. They're going to tell him, son, just take the safety. Just give him 2 points. And if you're going to, you can either try to run it or maybe even try to kick it. But boy, you're getting that's served up on a silver platter right there, giving them the ball at the 1 yard line. They're going to have 4 cracks at this, so this is a chance to really put Beeville in the hole right here, down 21-0 if they can score here.
So far, touchdown scored by Mahalik and Castro. Let's see if Hetty can plow his way into the end zone here and score for the first time. He's in the backfield behind Galloway. Not much of a running quarterback, but can do it when he's asked upon. And the first down play to Hetty is a loss there for Boerne. Ambrose Patton, the tackle there for the Trojans, sets up 2nd and goal.
Trojans on the last few Greyhound running plays have gotten good penetration, and that's our 2nd play for a loss, I believe, in consecutive run plays. So they figured a few things out on that front line, but Greyhounds mix it up pretty well, I think, around here at goal line. They're not just going to stay with the run and try to force it in there if it's not there.
First quarter winding down, closing in on a minute to go. All Boerne so far. 2 Beeville possessions, 2 3-and-outs. Here's Eddie on the pitch, and he will find the end zone. Scott Hetty from linebacker to tailback to the end zone. All Greyhounds here early.
You saw Victor Gonzalez was trying to beat him to the edge, and Gonzalez got a piece of Hetty on his feet, but not able to knock him off his feet until he got into that end zone.
And again, that touchdown drive set up by the mishandled snap from the punter, Victor Gonzalez. Special teams has played a huge role in this game. If you recall, Mahalik took the opening kickoff just inside of midfield, setting up a short touchdown drive, and that miscue by Beeville Jones leads to another score. Greyhounds on top, 21-0 on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
The Trojans.
You want to train like the athlete, and I mean truly train like a professional athlete. You come to D1.
Athletes are the staple of what we want to be. You want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to have a smile on your face, you want to be energetic when you walk into places and just have a presence about you. And so I think D1 creates that atmosphere, and they understand the opportunity they have in taking these individuals and making them better.
D1 Boerne, the place for the athlete.
This place is going to change the way I play the game.
Hi, I'll take the
I'm
Charger
gonna get the
burger.
Greyhound burger, please.
Greyhound burger, Charger burger, Charger burger, mushrooms, Swiss, caramelized onions.
Greyhound burger, bacon and American cheese.
Charger burger,
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger,
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Hey guys, you can like both of them at the same time.
We'll take 2.
Dine in for a Charger burger, curbside takeout, a Greyhound burger. We're open. Dog and...
And we're back at Boerne ISD Stadium. Greyhounds on top, 21-0, and Kerry, the score reflects exactly how this game has gone. All Greyhounds so far.
Yeah, I would have never predicted a 21-0 lead by the Greyhounds in the first quarter.
Here's the kickoff return by Andre Trevino. And the Trojans start short of their own 35-yard line. Again, an offense a year ago was so good, arguably the best one in District 15 4A, averaged more than 38 points a game. But you lose your quarterback, you lose a lot on the offensive line, you lose 5 of your top rushers from a year ago. And it's going to be tough to replace all that, let alone clicking in all cylinders in week 1.
Yeah, what you're seeing is a team that's basically having to rebuild, and they're kind of new out there. They're kind of struggling. I have them for minus 10 yards on their first 2 drives.
And this first down play is the first positive play of the game for the Trojans. Out across the 40-yard line, Trey Martinez on the carry there for Beeville Jones. You look back at this game from last year, and the Trojans had so many big plays. 5 touchdowns in the game. 3 of them covered 40 yards or more. 2 of those scored by Spicer, but so far he's been bottled up.
Yeah, and they've tried to get to the edge. Good job of the Greyhounds not letting them. But that was a good play right there. They did some misdirection, and that kind of opened up some things.
Here's Spicer trying to get to the edge again. Got hemmed inside by Warden and tracked down. Another loss there for the Trojans. Colton Patrick on the tackle for Boerne along with Jose Aprecio. And it's going to bring up another 3rd and long for the Trojan offense.
Yeah, and you see Spicer, he's thinking about reversing field again, and it's just not there. Lost a couple yards. It was a 2nd and 2. And I think as we go to the end of the quarter, 2nd and 2, but it's going to be 3rd and about 4 or 5 when we get back.
So we've played 1 quarter of the 2020 Texas high school football season, and a quarter in, it's all Greyhounds. Back after this on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
You want to train like the athlete, and I mean truly train like a professional athlete. You come to D1.
Athletes are the staple of what we want to be. You want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to have a smile on your face, you want to be energetic when you walk into places and just have a presence about you. And so I think D1 creates that atmosphere, and they understand the opportunity they have in taking these individuals and making them better.
D1 Boerne, the place for the athlete.
This place is going to change the way I play the game.
Hi, I'll take the
I'm
Charger
going to get the
burger.
Greyhound burger, please.
Greyhound burger, Charger burger, Charger burger, mushrooms, Swiss, caramelized onions.
Greyhound burger, bacon and American cheese.
Charger burger,
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger,
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Hey guys, you can like both of them at the same time.
We'll take 2.
Dine in for a Charger burger, curbside takeout, a Greyhound burger. We're open. Dog and
And we're back. Second quarter underway. Back a little bit late from break. The 3rd down play for the Trojans short of the first down. So it is 4th and a yard. It's early, yes, but down 21-0. You feel confident in short yardage situations if you're the Trojans. And with that being said, Coach Sosa is going for it.
Yeah, why not? It's preseason. This is about getting better, learning, growing up as a team, and this is a good opportunity for them to learn that.
It's a handoff. Gonzalez gets outside. He will not get the first down. Landon Lesturgeon at that bandit linebacker spot for the Greyhounds on the play. A turnover on downs, and for the 3rd time tonight, a Boerne possession will start inside of Beeville Jones territory.
Yeah, that was a great defense, a great play by the defense, stringing the ball out because Hendricks got blocked pretty good, and it looked like he had some room, the running back did, to get that first down, but he just stayed lateral. He could never turn it upfield because of that pursuit of that defense.
So here's Galloway and the offense, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Last drive went all of 1 yard. Again, set up by that special teams miscue by Victor Gonzalez of the Trojans. It's a running play and first down. And on the play, Ambrose Patton. Good-looking athlete, 6'2", 228 as he brings down Castro. All-district last year for the Trojans, opposite of an All-State player, Cameron Gibson. A big void to fill this year for the Trojans, not back of the defensive line.
In the last 3 or 4 plays, trying to run between the tackles has not gone well for the Greyhounds. They've had more when they've gone outside.
Galloway delivers a strike. That'll set up a manageable third down on the completion. Out to Justin Moore. I mentioned a strike from Galloway, of course, over the offseason. He committed to play Division I baseball at Texas State.
Yeah, and he's only a junior, so I'm sure he's going to get some more looks. And like I said, we said in our pregame, he's quite an athlete, starting one of the guards for the basketball team, starter at third base, and great athlete all around.
Trojans jump, encroachment on the call. That's why the play whistled dead against Patton. This will bring up third down and short. Should note, though, that Galloway really struggled against the Trojans last year. Had his second lowest passer rating of the season a year ago in that game, throwing 2 interceptions against Beeville Jones.
This will make a 3rd and 6, what was probably a passing down, a very manageable 3rd and 1, where the playbook's wide open. You can pretty much do anything right here if you're the offensive coordinator.
Castro had the first touchdown of the game, is in the backfield along with Galloway. Castro's number called. Castro cashes in for the first down. Wrapped up by Ambrose Patton.
Tackle made once again by
only got 2 yards. You know, they did a good job. Beeville Jones did a good job limiting that to 2 yards, but the Greyhounds only needed one yard to get that first down, so it was an effective play for them. Moves the chains, keeps their offense on the field, and keeps Beeville's offense off the field.
Again, Boerne coming off a 7-win campaign from a year ago. 6th consecutive season the program has pieced together a winning record. Also 6 straight years in the postseason for this Boerne program, which was dormant for 1 season for the campus renovations. Galloway off the pump fake, throwing deep. Wide open man, Cam Johnson, the sophomore, got behind the defense. Galloway has his 2nd touchdown pass.
I believe that's the 4th touchdown by a 4th different Greyhound. Every one's been scored by a different player.
Castro, Petty, Mahalik, Johnson have all scored now tonight.
Yeah, kind of spreading the wealth there, and nice throw, just nice patience shown by Galloway. Just wait for his guys to get open, just floats it over the top. Nice, easy throw, and nice catch, and takes it in by Johnson.
Petty's point after. He's 4 for 4. The Greyhounds 4 for 4. Drives and touchdowns on top, 28-0. We are back after this on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
If you want to train like the athlete, and I mean truly train like a professional athlete, you come to D1.
Athletes are the staple of what we want to be. You want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to have a smile on your face, you want to be energetic when you walk into places, and just have a presence about you. And so I think D1 creates that atmosphere, and they understand the opportunity they have in taking these individuals and making them better.
D1 Boerne, the place for the athlete.
This place is going to change the way I play the game.
What's up, boys?
That's up, ball.
Let's talk about the Nationals. Pitching is still king. We got to get Mike Trout to the playoffs.
The Yankees are very loaded. He wants to win that Cy Young, and he's going to win that Cy Young.
Do you like pimping home runs?
I love all that stuff. Sometimes you got to let them know who hit it.
Watch FS1, GVTC, channel 515.
Four possessions for the Greyhounds, 4 touchdowns for Boerne. On this touchback, the Trojans will start at their own 25-yard line. You look back at the game a year ago, and Beeville Jones, the team that got out to the hot start, Trojans led early 14-0, but Boerne came back to take the lead going into the halftime locker rooms. They were up 17-14, but the Trojans outscored the Greyhounds in the second half 19-0. So Beeville Jones won here a year ago. But interesting to see, Kerry, that the two schools schedule each other again in non-district in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, it's been a good matchup for both teams, and I think that's why they wanted to get a good team early on in their schedule.
Here's a run play up the middle for the Trojans for Trey Martinez. However, you go back to 2018, it was the Greyhounds who won on the road, 45-38 that game. Cole Boyd threw 4 touchdown passes that night.
I remember Cole, and I believe he had Douglas Hodo was one of his receivers, so big night from those guys. And Beeville obviously last year was real good, 10-0, but like I said, you're kind of seeing a team that's rebuilding this year, kind of struggling, and they're going to figure some things out though.
Second and short, Harper being harassed, spins away and throws it away. Well, the Greyhounds getting the pressure on the young quarterback. Coming in to apply that pressure was Luke Turner for Boerne. The defensive line, again, so good. The edge, you have players like McCarter and Warden. Embry, who's back from injury on the defensive line as well, playing on the inside. Coach Hendricks believes that the front is a strength of this defense.
Yeah, and Warden, you mentioned him. He had 36 tackles last year. He's a 4.7 in the 40, so he's got pretty good speed for a defensive end. It should be third down, shouldn't it?
It is 3rd down and 1, although the down marker still says second.
Should be third. I think that's what one of the coaches is telling. But, you get 9 yards and then on one play, and then you're struggling to find that 1 yard to get that first down. And if my stats are correct, Beeville does not have a first down in this game.
They do not. So far, it's been a couple of 3-and-outs and a turnover on downs.
This is going to be their first one, and it's because of a penalty.
That defensive holding the call against Boerne.
The penalty results in a first down for Beeville.
Yeah, Beeville's been 3-and-out, 3 and a fumble, 3-and-out, loss on downs.
On first down. And a little bit of real estate up the middle there for Trey Martinez. Talked about that Boerne defensive front. When you look at the offensive line for Beeville, you notice that it's not very big. Nobody on the O-line weighs more than 240 pounds, but the way this Lati offense is built, you don't need a ton of bulk. You just need players who can get out in space.
Yeah, and you got a lot of misdirection, and so you're hoping that guys will start chasing guys down the field that don't have the ball, and that opens up the field a little bit more for you.
Here's a pitch on second down. Spicer has yet to get on track tonight. Good tackle in space made by Will Pearson. Pearson, another player who got banged up a year ago, tore a hip muscle last year and got limited action as a sophomore.
And again, I'm starting to sound like a broken record. Beeville's tried to run wide, and every time they've tried to run wide, they haven't been able to and do much. That time they did get 2 out of it, so it makes it a manageable 3rd and 2. But Greyhound speed is what we're seeing tonight, limiting them to not very much on the outsides.
Coming up on 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter, all Boerne so far. And back-to-back first downs here for the Trojans. Again on the carry, Trey Martinez. And that'll move the chains for Beeville Jones inside of Boerne territory for the first time tonight.
Good 7-yard run just straight up the middle. Gets that first down, move the chains. So you're starting to sense Beeville getting comfortable out there. It took them a quarter to kind of settle in. But their problem is that Greyhounds scored 28 points before they settled in. So let's see how much longer they can stay with the run. The longer the game goes, the less they're going to be able to have to stay with that run and start having to throw.
Beeville's going to need explosive plays here. They're not going to make up a 28-point deficit on the back of 8 and 10-play drives. Martinez going nowhere that time. Will bring up second down and long.
Yeah, and those 8 and 10-play drives, like you mentioned, Brent, those are time consuming. And you're middle of the second quarter. That's kind of why the wishbone went away, because when you're down 28-0 in the wishbone, it's hard to run your way back into the game. You have to start throwing, and so that's why the spread is so effective, because you can throw and run out of it either way. The defense doesn't know what you're going to do.
It's so important in this offense to establish that lead early so you can run the ball, protect the lead, shoot clock, and Beeville does not have that luxury right now. Harper, after his first read, tucks and runs, and will set up 3rd and short here for the Trojans. All district last year for Harper, but at defensive back. In fact, he led the defense in interceptions and now playing at quarterback, replacing Seth Gomez here in 2020.
Like you said, that's what a running team likes to do. They like to get that lead, and they can stay running, but if you're the Greyhound defense, you've taken that away from them, and you put them in an uncomfortable spot of having to throw a little bit more and having to speed up and not go into these long 8 and 10-yard plays.
Harper being pressured. Harper tracked down. John Warden, the sack. So on 3rd and short, the Trojans go for the passing play, and the Greyhounds sniff it out.
Yeah, look at the speed by Warden there. He's got good speed coming off that edge. Like I say, he's about a 4.7 in that 40, and that's a loss of over 10. So now they're going to have to. Looks like they're going to bring the punting team out.
Well, again, you wonder about the play call there. 3rd and short for a slot T offense. Why do you go to the air?
Yeah, and you basically at 3rd and 1, you got 2 cracks at it to get 1 yard, because you're going to go for it on 4th and 1 as you're at the 30. But yeah, went backwards.
Gonzalez mishandled a snap earlier, able to get this punt away, and this will be the deepest that the Greyhounds have started tonight inside their own 15-yard line with less than 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Next week, by the way, Boerne is taking on Splendora, a neutral site game in San Marcos. Their next home game, not until week 4 against Sweetwater, and that'll be our next telecast of Greyhound football here on GSN. The week after, by the way, Boerne will host longtime rival Fredericksburg. What a game between the Billies and Greyhounds a year ago. Double overtime won by Fredericksburg.
Yeah, and I was at that game. That was quite a game. Looks like we're going to have a break here.
Timeout is taken with 4:42 to go here in the first half, and the Greyhounds on top 28-0. If you're just tuning in, 2 touchdown passes from Rashawn Galloway, one to Cam Johnson, the other to his top target, Matt Mahalik, and touchdown runs from Scott Hetty and J.P. Castro. Would you like to support the Greyhound Sports Network, by the way? Well, we have plenty of sponsorship opportunities available. In-game commercials, logo placement, mentions by both Carrie and I, game naming rights and affordable options, all available. For more information, contact Boerne ISD Athletic Director Stan Leach.
Stan the man.
And we'll have the chance to visit with Stan Leach at halftime here as well to talk about Boerne High and Boerne Champion High School as well. Galloway in the offense operating from its own 14. A flip to Mahalik. Looking for the edge. He's got it and more. Mahalik into the open field. Down the sideline. Stop short of the 50. What a night it has been for Matt Mahalik.
There's going to be a penalty. I think he's going to come back. I think there's going to be a block on the back on that edge. But you see that little flip pass. They're going to call a block in the back, I believe. But got an injured player here for the Trojans.
Yeah, so there is a flag that'll bring the play back, and there is a player down for the Trojans. It's Victor Gonzalez. Players on a knee as they look at Gonzalez on his back at the 13-yard line. So with the injury timeout, we'll step aside. Back with more high school football after this on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
What's up, boys?
Time to talk ball.
Let's talk about the Nationals. Pitching is still king. We got to get Mike Trout to the playoffs.
The Yankees they're loaded. He wants to win that Cy Young, and he's going to win that Cy Young.
Do you like pimping home runs?
I love all that stuff. Sometimes you got to let them know who hit it.
Watch FS1, GVTC, channel 515.
See bloom like that, man, it's just the best feeling in the world, you know?
It makes us want to continue to be their voice.
Watch Animal Planet, GVTC, channel 552.
Flavor Town Market, where chefs courageously battle in games such as 5 ingredients or less, Frozen Food Feud, and the Food Wheel. All yearn to taste victory.
That's crazy.
But only one will be a champion in the aisles of Guy's Grocery Games. All new, Wednesday night at 9 on Food Network.
Watch Food Network, GVTC, channel 563.
Boerne Builders is all new and bringing out their Sunday best.
We didn't get dressed up for nothing.
Every old barn unlocks new stories.
This is the initial of his great-great-grandfather.
History can't save itself, but they can.
To save it, it feels good right here.
An all-new Boerne Builders, Sunday night at 9, only on DIY Network.
Watch DIY, GVTC, channel 126.
Illegal shift.
Victor Gonzalez being helped off the field here for Beeville Jones. Junior outside linebacker took a tough hit on a block from Boerne's offensive line. Fourth leading tackler a year ago for this Trojan defense, named All-District as well. And tough to see him helped off the field as he starts his junior season. By the way, there was a penalty called against Boerne. Illegal shift was the call, negating that long run from Matt Mahalik. So the Greyhounds faced with 1st and 15 now, behind their own 10. And here is Rashawn Galloway. Took the reign to this offense a year ago as a sophomore. Got a little bit of playing time as a freshman as well as he completes that swing pass out to Scott Hetty. Got called up late his freshman year back in 2018.
Yep. Good job by Hetty getting to the outside there, using that speed.
Scott Hetty
and gets some of that penalty yards, actually all the penalty yards back, plus about one more.
Guy to the Greyhounds to a playoff win last year over Hidalgo, threw 5 touchdown passes in that win. But then the Greyhounds ran into a buzzsaw in Needville in round 2. Here's a completion out to Jackson Harper, but cannot make the defender miss. Good tackle in space from Michael Newsom. And Boerne is faced with 3rd down.
A very good tackle by Newsom in space. That's the hardest thing about the spread, is tackling athletes in space. And he did a good job keeping him in front, wrapping him up, slinging him to the ground. A couple yards short of the 1st down.
Michael Newsom.
Again, the Greyhounds have not been denied points on any drive tonight. And Beeville right now trying to get off the field and force a 3 and out. Trying to make some kind of play. Instead, a 1st down for Boerne. Quick strike and a completion for the Greyhounds. Seth Davenport, senior tight end, his first catch. So many targets thrown to tonight for Rashawn Galloway.
And that makes it hard on the defense. You can't key on one guy because all of them are weapons. He's got weapons all over that field. You can throw it to anywhere, and you've got guys that are capable of catching the ball and running the ball and getting you 1st downs and making big plays.
You hear the term in basketball, we have shooters at every possession, on every position, everybody is live. The same kind of philosophy goes into effect here with Boerne's offense. Everybody spread out is a live target.
Well, knowing Coach Hendricks, they're up 28-0. Got about 2.5 to go here. They're not content going into the locker room 28-0. They want to put some points on the board. So we're going to see them take some shots downfield or try to come up with some big plays here.
Well, certainly Boerne remembers this game a year ago. They held a halftime lead and did not win. Beeville outscored the Greyhounds by 19 in the 2nd half. Galloway scrambles, showing off his legs now. And out of bounds will set up 3rd down and manageable.
Going to come back, though. I think it's going to be a hold on the Greyhounds. But right there, you saw Galloway. He made up his mind pretty quick to run that ball. And you saw the speed. They don't like him to run the ball a whole lot. They want to keep him healthy. But you saw his ability right there, his athletic ability to tuck and run. And we saw it last year in that Holy Cross game that you mentioned where he ran in the winning touchdown.
And there's a hold called against Boerne, negating another play on this drive. You know, when you talk to Coach Hendricks about his junior quarterback, he gushes about Rashawn Galloway, exactly what he wants in a quarterback, what anybody would want at that position. He has total command of the offense and just competes. All the words said by Coach Hendricks when talking about Galloway. Competes here, getting out of a sack. Made 2 defenders miss. And that will go in the box score as an incomplete pass. But one of the more impressive 0 for 1s you'll see.
Yeah. Just throw it away, live the fight another down, and don't take the sack and don't force anything. That's just a smart play. It's just one play. But Beeville's done a good job. Greyhounds have kind of hurt themselves on this drive, though, with 2 penalties. It's kind of backed them up a little bit. So facing 3rd and long here.
Yeah, 3rd and more than 20 to go. Remember, they converted on 3rd and goal from the 15 earlier for a touchdown. They have to reach the 36 for the first. A draw play, and that won't get anywhere near the 36-yard line for J.P. Castro. So with 90 seconds to go in the first half, Beeville's defense has forced its first punt of the night.
Yeah, I think they're going to call a timeout to try to stop the clock, see if they can do something in this final minute 23 here.
Train like the athlete. I mean, truly train like.
I think that's why the Greyhounds ran the ball, to make them burn a timeout.
Are the staple of what we want to be.
Keep in mind that the Trojans were a second-half team last year. They outscored their opponents by more than 160 points in the 3rd and 4th quarters a year ago. That said, this is a different Beeville Jones team, and quite honestly, this looks like a different Boerne team this year as well.
Yeah, and Beeville really struggled that first quarter, but football is so different than any other sport because you play your last game in November, December, depending on when your season ends, and then you don't play another game again until August. And it's so different than any other sport like basketball or volleyball. When your season is done, you go play AAU and you travel. It's the same game. Football is so different, so there's a lot to work out in the offseason, a lot of cobwebs. And a team like Beeville that's young and rebuilding, that's kind of what you saw in that first quarter. But they figured out some stuff on their last drive, even though they didn't score. They went about 10 plays.
Galloway also handles punting duties, but the whistles blow before the punt. Could be a false start here against the Greyhounds. It is.
False start against the
Greyhounds. And you think about coachable moments, and although everybody on that Greyhound sideline is thrilled to have a 28-0 lead, I can tell you this, Coach Hendricks not happy about this particular possession.
Yeah, they went backwards. They actually start at the 14 is where the drive started, and they're at the 13 now. So the good thing is they were able to burn about 3 minutes off the clock, so that'll limit Beeville's time. But Beeville's got a chance to have a good starting field position, probably their best of the night.
Punt from Galloway. Good punt from the quarterback. On the return, Spicer. Great athlete out in space. He's inside the 45-yard line, but this could come back. A flag behind the play where it ended. Could be a hold here against the Trojans.
Yeah, flag comes down at about the 47 there.
Number 32, Cole Gentry, makes the tackle. Penalty marker on the play.
So a chance for Beeville Jones to start inside of Boerne territory for the first time will be negated, I believe, on this flag.
Well, and that's just kind of how it's gone for Beeville tonight, that they just have a chance here to get great field position, and then they have a penalty that takes them back. So it's just kind of been that night for the Trojans. But like you said, they're a very good second-half team, and this game's far from over. I know that's one thing Coach Hendricks is going to tell the team at halftime is you can't rest on these guys. We were beating them last year, and they came back and beat us. So, and I'm sure those seniors and juniors on the team remember that. And they want to finish this game and not let them have the satisfaction of doing that 2 years in a row to them.
It's a personal foul penalty as well. So 15 yards marked off here for Beeville Jones with 61 seconds left, 2 timeouts at their disposal, and the Trojans now have to navigate 62 yards to score. Harper slings it. And his first completion of the night is out to the 44-yard line. That pass reeled in by Corey Francis. Again, a lot of new names on this offense this year for Beeville Jones. So much gone from a year ago.
Beeville they have 2 timeouts, and I think with 55 seconds, you're going to see a lot of passing. You can run it, but not a whole lot of opportunity for that.
That pass goes off the hands of Patton. Covered well on the play by Boerne as well. Coming in to break it up, Tate Crackcraft, and it brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, Crackcraft almost had a chance at the interception. If he'd have seen the ball, looking for the ball, it saw that it was tipped, he might have been able to grab that, but not. He's just focused on the guy and bringing him down. And plays like that, when you're down 28-0, you got to have those plays. You got to make those catches. Give your team a chance, help your team out, move the ball down, get that 1st down, and help them get closer to scoring.
Not much has gone right for the Trojans offense tonight. Here's Harper, pressured, throws for Spicer, incomplete, into traffic.
Yeah.
Spicer looking for the flag. That play was broken up by Sam Kittle. It's going to bring up 4th down for Beeville Jones.
A lot of traffic. I counted 7 Greyhound defenders within 10, 15 yards and only 2 receivers in that area. So that was a risky throw. Bounced around kind of like a pinball out there. The ball did. Very fortunate it didn't get intercepted.
When talking about his defense, Coach Hendricks wants Boerne to be fundamentally sound, not to be too aggressive. Everybody maintain their keys, and so far they've done that to the tune of a shutout nearly 24 minutes in. 4th down attempt for the Trojans, and they'll convert. Inside of midfield, good run from Spicer, his best run tonight.
And the clock will stop as they move the change, but they still have 2 timeouts, and Beeville needs to use it. But I'd take anything if I'm Jones right now. I'd take a field goal, anything right now.
Harper, incomplete this time for Leroy Gonzalez. Brings up 2nd down and 10. This is a big moment, I would think, for Will Harper at quarterback. The 2-minute drill. Can you engineer a scoring drive before the end of the 1st half? Give your team some momentum going into the 3rd quarter.
And he's saying, guys, help me out. That's another pass that it was a little high, a little hot, but that was catchable. And that's 2 that the receivers haven't come up with. You got to help me out, guys, if we're going to score here.
Although a lot of the passing plays here for 4 or 5 yards, the Trojans have to attack vertically. They do here, and a drop out in space by Newson. A ball he should have hauled in. Stops the clock with 30 seconds to go, but it's 3rd and 10.
Yep, again, it's about execution. Right now, you're just kind of seeing this young team not able to put some plays together, and that would have put them in field goal range right there. And they still have their timeouts in 30 seconds, so they're kind of starting to run out of options here.
An offense which put up close to 40 points a game, more than 400 yards of offense per game, stuck in neutral here tonight. Harper, pressured, spins away and turns out a few. Clock is still running. Neither team has called for a timeout yet. And with 15 seconds to go, Beeville not in any hurry right now.
See Tanner McCarter get there first. Number 50 slows him down. And it looks like we got a timeout.
With 6 seconds left, so the Trojans here playing for the Hail Mary now.
Yeah. They let a lot of time go before they called that timeout. So
I guess assuring, in this case, Carey, if the Hail Mary goes incomplete, enough time will have elapsed so Boerne would not get the ball back.
Yeah, because it is 4th down, so this is kind of a all or nothing kind of a play. But what you're seeing from Beeville is just kind of growing pains. They're just they're growing. They graduated, like you said. We've mentioned it a couple times. 10-0 regular season. So they graduated a lot of good, very good players, obviously, and you're having new guys step up into new positions, and this is what non-district is about. It's kind of about growing and getting comfortable out there, and you're seeing them do that a little bit, but they're taking baby steps tonight, and as the season progresses, I think you're going to see them get better.
You see there in the huddle, talking to the team is Eric Sosa, who is the son of head coach Chris Sosa. He is the offensive coordinator for Beeville Jones, former quarterback at UTSA.
Roadrunner, I believe, is their first starting quarterback.
Yep. And again, now the offensive coordinator for his alma mater, where he played high school football.
Oh.
Boy, and Spicer out wide took off well before the snap.
Yeah, you can't see it on camera, but down along the Beeville sideline, that runner was 10 yards down the field. So that tells me it's going to be a pass play the way he was running.
And does Harper have enough arm strength to get the ball to the end zone here?
Yeah, I think you just chunk it up there and maybe you draw pass interference.
Pressured, Harper is sacked, but there's no time left. Sack from Tanner McCarter, and a fitting end of the first half, a Boerne defensive stop for the Greyhounds, both sides of the football. Awfully impressive here to start the season. The sack from McCarter wraps up the first half. All Greyhounds here in the 2020 opener on top of Beeville Jones, 28-0. Halftime coverage coming up. You're watching high school football on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
Hi, I'll take the
I'm
Charger
gonna get the
burger.
Greyhound burger, please.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Charger burger. Mushrooms, Swiss, caramelized onions.
Greyhound burger. Bacon and American cheese.
Charger burger.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Hey guys, you can like both of them at the same time.
We'll take two.
Dine in for a Charger burger, curbside takeout, a Greyhound burger. We're open. Dog and Pony Grill.
Every Thursday night, Access TV presents a groundbreaking new series, The Song. Hear the incredible stories behind some of the biggest hits ever recorded.
Really life-changing.
Legendary musicians.
This is the coolest thing. This is so fresh.
Tell their stories.
Kind of the door to get into the song.
And play their music. The Song, Thursdays on Access TV.
My father cooked in his restaurant. My mom was the hostess. I was the coat check girl. Today, I'm still working the hardest I've ever worked, giving my viewers every tool I can to help them succeed. With insight from experts and small business owners, people who can help you get to the next level. We want you to win.
Fox Business, invested in you.
Watch Fox Business, GVTC, Channel 588.
If you want to train like the athlete, and I mean truly train like a professional athlete, you come to D1.
Athletes are the staple of what we want to be. You want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to have a smile on your face, you want to be energetic when you walk into places, and just have a presence about you. And so I think D1 creates that atmosphere, and they understand the opportunity they have in taking these individuals and making them better.
D1 Boerne, the place for the athlete.
This place is going to change the way I play the game.
At QVC, we know shopping because we're shoppers too.
We know sometimes you want to treat others, and sometimes you just want to treat yourself.
We know it's the little things that make a house a home.
And we know what it's like to budget. It's why we started Easy Pay, so you can enjoy what you want now and pay over time with 0% interest.
We created QVC for shoppers like us. and like you. QVC, by shoppers for shoppers.
Miles beneath the surface of Yellowstone stands a supervolcano. When it last erupted, molten ash spread as far as California and Missouri. Is the next eruption imminent? A new series explores what happens when Mother Nature turns on humanity. Apocalypse Earth. All new Sundays at 9 on History.
Watch History Channel, GVTC, Channel 557.
See bloom like that, man, it's just the best feeling in the world, you know?
It makes us want to continue to be their voice.
Watch Animal Planet, GVTC, Channel 552.
3 months ago, we didn't know this night would get here, but it's gotten here, and those at Boerne could not be happier. Week 1 of the 2020 high school football season sees Boerne on top of the half over Beeville Jones, 28-0. Back on the Greyhound Sports Network, Brent Freeman, now joined by Boerne ISD Athletic Director Stan Leach. And again, Stan, we did not know back in May or so if this would happen, but those in the community, those at the school district here at Boerne High School, did everything they could to assure this could happen between the safety guidelines and all the protocols being taken given the current circumstances. High school football is back. How happy are you?
We're excited. Of course, 28-0 makes us even more excited.
Yes. Yeah, Che Hendricks and his program, a phenomenal job in his first 2 seasons. 9 wins in year 1, 7 more in year 2. Out to a great start here in year 3. Talk about the job he has done with this program.
Well, you said it. This is our 3rd season, and we just keep getting better. We have a tremendous sophomore class, and then what about Rashawn Galloway?
Yes, Rashawn Galloway, only a sophomore last year, led this team to the playoffs. Out to a great start, 2 touchdown passes this evening. Also 2 rushing touchdowns for the Greyhounds, Scott Hetty and J.P. Castro. Galloway in the offseason committed verbally to play Division I baseball at Texas State. A great ambassador for this high school.
He's a great ambassador, and it started his freshman year when he won a playoff game, our 3rd-round playoff game against Fulsher on last-second shot.
Yep.
And we knew that we were going to have Rashawn moments for 4 years to come.
Of course, the high school football season did mark the beginning of the athletic year. We talked about this earlier in the broadcast. In fact, we've already given you a couple of telecasts of it. Boerne High School volleyball, Tisha Pettibon's group, undefeated so far. They're out to a great start as well.
A great start. You know, we had 4 games at home, and then you did 2 of our games. Yes. And did a tremendous job. And then we caught a big fish. We beat La Vernia Bears, and that was a good win. The other 4 were good, but it was our first signature win for the season.
Stan, you've been at Boerne for so long as the boys basketball coach at Boerne High School, later Boerne champion, now the athletic director. What does this community, what do the 2 schools, what does the school district mean to you?
Well, of course, I love it. Been here 35 years. I was the head basketball coach at Boerne for 22 and champion for 10, and then been athletic director for 23. So, of course, I love the community, but what makes Boerne special, as you know, are the people.
It absolutely does. In fact, I'd love to share a story with you, Stan. I am a product of Boerne High School, graduated in 1999, and I tried out for the boys basketball team. After my freshman year, you wouldn't let me try out anymore. I was that bad at basketball, but it got the broadcast career started, so I have you to thank for that. Thank you for cutting me from the basketball team.
Well, I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad we both have a good testimony to share.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, again, Athletic Director Stan Leach joining us here at the half with the Greyhounds on top, 28-0. I do want to circle back, though, Stan, before we exit here, and all the social distancing protocols being put in place here at the stadium. You see the fans with their face guards up. There are place cards on the seats as well, asking fans to sit 6 feet apart. How important is it to take these seriously so we see not only the start but the conclusion of the athletic season?
Well, our motivation is to get to keep playing. That's what we keep telling ourselves, and that's why we'll continue to improve on tonight. Tonight's been a great night. We're sold out at 50%, and, of course, that's why this broadcast is so important. We have over almost 600 people watching us right now, and so we really want sponsorship, and we want people to have two options. If they want to come to the game, we may have a seat for them, but if not, watch the Greyhound Sports Network.
And we would love for you to become a part of GSN as well. For sponsorship opportunities, you can contact Stan Leach, stan.leach@BoerneISD.net, the email address to, again, be a part of the GSN family as we continue to bring you Boerne and Boerne champion high school sports coverage. Well, Stan, again, thank you for joining us here at the half, and enjoy the second half.
Brant, great to see you. Class of 99.
Go
Hounds. Greyhounds.
That's right, exactly right. 28-0 Boerne on top at the half over Beeville Jones. More halftime coverage coming up after this on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
Hi, I'll take the
I'm
Charger
going to get the
burger.
Greyhound burger, please.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Charger burger. Mushrooms, Swiss, caramelized onions.
Greyhound burger. Bacon and American cheese.
Charger burger.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Hey, guys, you can like both of them at the same time.
We'll take two.
Dine in for a Charger burger, curbside takeout, a Greyhound burger. We're open. Dog and Pony Grill.
Every Thursday night, Access TV presents a groundbreaking new series, The Song. Hear the incredible stories behind some of the biggest hits ever recorded.
Really life-changing.
Legendary musicians.
This is the coolest thing. This is so fresh.
Tell their stories.
Kind of the door to get into the song.
And play their music. The Song, Thursdays on Access TV.
My father cooked in his restaurant. My mom was the hostess. I was the coat check girl. Today, I'm still working the hardest I've ever worked, giving my viewers every tool I can to help them succeed. With insight from experts and small business owners, people who can help you get to the next level. We want you to win.
Fox Business, invested in you.
Watch Fox Business, GVTC, Channel 588.
If you want to train like the athlete, and I mean truly train like a professional athlete, you come to D1.
Athletes are the staple of what we want to be. You want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to have a smile on your face, you want to be energetic when you walk into places and just have a presence about you. And so I think D1 creates that atmosphere, and they understand the opportunity they have in taking these individuals and making them better.
D1 Boerne, the place for the athlete.
This place is going to change the way I play the game.
At QVC, we know shopping because we're shoppers too.
We know sometimes you want to treat others. And sometimes you just want to treat yourself.
We know it's the little things that make a house a home.
And we know what it's like to budget. It's why we started Easy Pay, so you can enjoy what you want now and pay over time with 0% interest.
We created QVC for shoppers like us. And like you. QVC, by shoppers, for shoppers.
Miles beneath the surface of Yellowstone stands a supervolcano. When it last erupted, molten ash spread as far as California and Missouri. Is the next eruption imminent? A new series explores what happens when Mother Nature turns on humanity. Apocalypse Earth, all new, Sundays at 9 on History.
Watch History Channel, GVTC, Channel 557.
The
see a bloom like that, man, it's just the best feeling in the world, you know?
It makes us want to continue to be their voice.
Watch Animal Planet, GVTC, Channel 552.
Flavor Town Market, where chefs courageously battle in games such as 5 ingredients or less, Frozen Food Feud, and the Food Wheel. All yearn to taste victory.
That's crazy.
But only one will be a champion in the aisles of Guy's Grocery Games. All new, Wednesday night at 9 on Food Network.
Watch Food Network, GVTC, Channel 563.
Boerne Builders is all new and bringing out their Sunday best.
We didn't get dressed up for nothing.
Every old barn unlocks new stories.
This is the initial of his great-great-grandfather.
History can't save itself, but they can.
To save it, it feels good right here.
An all-new Boerne Builders, Sunday night at 9, only on DIY Network.
Watch DIY, GVTC, Channel 126.
Iron Mike Tyson is back for the ultimate showdown.
Shark Week is hard, man.
Whew. Shark Week's main event, Tyson versus Jaws, Sunday, August 9th on Discovery.
Watch Discovery, GVTC, Channel 554.
Is back.
I'm ready for round 2.
With more adventures.
Right now, I got a ghost to munch.
More power-ups. And an even bigger appetite. Join him and his friends as they rid Packworld of those nefarious ghosts.
Time to gobble some goblins.
Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. Saturday at 10 a.m. on Discovery Family.
The basket is the great equalizer.
Never even seen this before.
Curveball.
Nobody would eat this.
To be the best or consider the best, you have to win against the best.
I've been preparing for it my whole life.
Who's the best chef in the room? We're going to witness greatness.
All new, Chopped, Tuesday night at 9 on Food Network.
Watch Food Network, GVTC, Channel 563.
Get ready for the next big treasure hunt. People are bidding for boxes of returns to online retailers and reselling the items for profit.
Yes!
But it's not all fun and games.
Sometimes you could get jumped. You never know until you unbox it.
Extreme Unboxing, all new Tuesdays at 10 on A&E.
Watch A&E, GVTC, Channel 558.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, people have all kinds of things that could be worth big money right in their own home. That's why we're traveling the country virtually. So dust off your items, show us what you've got, and let us answer the question, what's it worth? A new series Tuesday at 9 on A&E.
Watch A&E, GVTC, Channel 558. Watch FS1, GVTC, Channel 515.
It's life or death at this point.
These are real people.
I just can't get a grip on it.
Buried by the weight of their things.
He's just overwhelmed and doesn't know what else to do. This could be anybody.
We're here to help you. This is your chance to get out.
Hoarders, all new, Mondays at 8 on A&E.
Watch A&E, GVTC, Channel 558.
Most people, they don't want to look a killer in the face.
I do.
A lot of people don't want to be around backstabbers, but it's something that you have to do in order to get the job done.
Nothing to me is more important than finding out who did this.
The First 48, all new, Thursdays at 9 on A&E.
Watch A&E, GVTC, Channel 558.
What's up, boys?
Time to talk ball.
Let's talk about the Nationals. Pitching is still king. We got to get Mike Trout in the playoffs.
The Yankees are terribly loaded. He wants to win that Cy Young, and he's going to win that Cy Young.
Do you like pimping home runs?
I love all that stuff. Sometimes you got to let them know who hit it.
Watch FS1, GVTC, Channel 515.
They say it's cooked to perfection when he decides it is. They say the word flavor was named after him. They say you can beat Bobby Flay. What do they know? Beat Bobby Flay, Thursday night at 10 on Food Network.
Watch Food Network, GVTC, Channel 563.
Coming into the 2020 season opener, Boerne head coach Shea Hendricks said that this game would serve as a great early season test, and so far the Greyhounds have passed with flying colors on top 28-0 at the half over Beeville Jones, a program coming off an 11-win season from a year ago. And Kerry, you think about the first half, there's nothing that Boerne could do wrong.
Yeah, great start. They scored their opening drive, and they scored two more times after that in the first quarter, and then they score in the start the second quarter. So they have 4 drives, 4 touchdowns by 4 different players, and Beeville didn't even pick up their first down till the second quarter. So just total domination by the Greyhounds. This game, if you look at how it could have played out, there's a lot of different ways. I would have never thought Greyhounds would be up 21-0. But Beeville is a young team. They got a lot of new guys in new positions, so they're kind of learning. And you saw them kind of put some stuff together in that second quarter, move the ball, and had a chance to score at the end, not able to put it together. But, halftime's about adjustments. So what adjustments is Coach Souza going to make? What are they going to do at halftime? Try to get some points on the board. And Boerne's not going to be content with just scoring 28 points. They're going to want to score some more, spread the ball around. You saw the Galloway. I think he's only had 1 incompletion in that first half. He's been great. And then they have so many weapons all over the field, and he's finding all these different guys open. And so they kind of bogged down in that second quarter late, the Greyhounds did, and so they want to fix some things as well and keep scoring like they did in that first quarter.
So, again, Rashawn Galloway set the bar so high a year ago as a sophomore, out to a great start here in his junior season, a couple of touchdown passes, and as we noted throughout the broadcast in the first half, had a lot of targets to work with.
Yeah, all over the field, running backs. You see Castro, you see Hetty running the ball, you see Mahalik catching the ball. Hunter's only had 1 catch, but he's one of their big weapons. And I thought really the star of the show, we're talking about the offense, I thought the star was the defense.
Yep.
They held them without a first down for that whole first quarter. I think they picked it. The first one was on a penalty, so Greyhound did a great job, and they're pitching a shutout through halftime, and they want to keep this thing down to 0 and not give up any points going into that second half.
Well, again, the Greyhounds wanted to avenge a loss to the Trojans from a year ago. They're halfway there, on top at the end of 2 quarters, 28-0. The start of the second half coming up after this on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
Hi, I'll take the
I'm
Charger
gonna get the
burger.
Greyhound burger, please.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Charger burger. Mushrooms, Swiss, caramelized onions.
Greyhound burger, bacon and American cheese.
Charger burger.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Hey guys, you can like both of them at the same time.
We'll take 2.
Dine in for a Charger burger, curbside takeout, a Greyhound burger. We're open. Dog and Pony Grill.
Every Thursday night, Access TV presents a groundbreaking new series, The Song. Hear the incredible stories behind some of the biggest hits ever recorded.
Really life-changing.
Legendary musicians.
This is the coolest thing. This is so fresh.
Tell their stories.
Kind of the door to get into the song.
And play their music. The Song. Thursdays on Access TV.
My father cooked in his restaurant. My mom was the hostess. I was the coat check girl. Today, I'm still working the hardest I've ever worked, giving my viewers every tool I can to help them succeed. With insight from experts and small business owners, people who can help you get to the next level. We want you to win.
Fox Business, invested in you.
Watch Fox Business, GVTC, Channel 588.
If you want to train like the athlete, and I mean truly train like a professional athlete, you come to D1.
Athletes are the staple of what we want to be. You want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to have a smile on your face, you want to be energetic when you walk into places and just have a presence about you. And so I think D1 creates that atmosphere, and they understand the opportunity they have in taking these individuals and making them better.
D1 Boerne,
The place for the athlete.
This place is going to change the way I play the game.
At QVC, we know shopping because we're shoppers too.
We know sometimes you want to treat others, and sometimes you just want to treat yourself.
We know it's the little things that make a house a home.
And we know what it's like to budget. It's why we started Easy Pay, so you can enjoy what you want now and pay over time with 0% interest.
We created QVC for shoppers like us and like you. QVC, by shoppers for.
Ready to start the second half. Boerne on top, a commanding lead of 28-0. Trojans will have the football first here in the third quarter. And you talk about adjustments, yes, but I think for Beeville Jones, very important on this first drive to get points, make some big plays, and just find something to feel positive about here tonight.
Yeah, I would say just it would be a moral victory if you can string 3 or 4 first downs together on this drive. They only had 3 first downs in their whole first half, and they only had 21 total yards. So if you can match that just on this one drive, I think you got to be happy with the offense.
And not a good start as Spicer, his second false start penalty for Beeville Jones. This season marks the 25th for Chris Souza as a head coach. Of course, he coached at Beeville Jones before in the mid-2000s for 5 seasons. That 07 team of his reached the state quarterfinals, the deepest run in team history. After that, had stops at Alice and Medina Valley and back at Beeville Jones a year ago. Trojans stacked up on the 1st and 15 play. It's going to bring up second down. Coming up with a play, Ethan Hamby, second time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah, good job on that right side there. Nowhere to go. Just running back has to stop just because there's nobody opening holes for him on that right side. Greyhounds outgained them 182-21 total yards in that first half. 9 first downs to 3 compared to Beeville Jones.
More on Coach Sosa. 179 career wins as this play is stopped just across the 25-yard line to bring up 3rd and long. Only 2 losing seasons in his 24 years as a head coach. He is one of the all-time greats in South Texas.
Yes, I agree. Great coach. And like I said, he was in Boerne Champions District for a few years, and he gave them all they could handle every year with every game. And then, of course, they played Boerne High in non-district, and those were some good games as well. Very good coach, and his son is following in his footsteps.
3rd and long, about 9 to go, and that's not going to do it. Pass rule didn't complete anyway, looking in the direction of Andre Trevino. And the Trojans, again, looking for that spark, looking for a big play on offense on their first drive. Don't get it instead. It's a 3-and-out.
Yeah, tough way to come out of that locker room to start the half. You've had about 20 minutes. You made some adjustments. You're hoping to, like I said, at least move the chains a couple times. Instead, they get 1 yard on that whole drive. So tough start for the Trojans in the second half.
Here's Gonzalez back to punt. Remember, had the mishandled snap earlier, leading to a fumble and a recovery at the 1 yard line. Here's Mahalik. Got dragged down by his jersey. Still running, though, inside the 45 and down to about the 43 yard line. Another Boerne drive starts inside of Trojan territory. And we get a look at Rashawn Galloway, his first drive of the third quarter.
And you see Mahalik makes a nice plant on that. He kind of sticks his foot in the ground right there, gets him some daylight. And like you said, this is another drive. I believe this is the fourth drive that has started in Beeville territory, and the other three they've scored on. So Greyhounds doing a great job tonight of taking advantage of a short field.
That last punt actually came from Will Harper, the quarterback for the Trojans. Again, Galloway misfired in just one pass in the first half, 12 of 13 through the air. Here's Hetty, the call on the ground, and stacked up. There's Foster making another play for the Trojan defense. Again, really good defensively a year ago. Beeville Jones held their opponents to 10 or less 3 times, but a big part of the equation. Cameron Gibson, not back this year, a senior a year ago, had over 9 sacks and 17 tackles for loss.
Whoops.
And it looked like Patton jumped off sides. Free play and a catch inside the 15-yard line. So Galloway heads up, recognized the penalty, and able to connect with Garrison down the field.
Yep, that's the play. When you get the defense to jump, you just go ahead and throw it downfield because it gets intercepted. Doesn't matter. It's coming back anyway. And if it connects, then you get the yardage. So big play right there. Great job by Garrison staying in the play.
First and 10 for you, Greyhounds.
Galloway's in a groove tonight. You think about shaking off rust week 1, right? Well, there's no rust right now. Here's Hetty, the call on first down, and tracked down at about the 7. Not quite goal to go here for Boerne. They can reach the 1 for a first down on top, 28-0. As the Greyhounds continue to stay committed to running the football.
Yeah, and Beeville's made it tough the last couple quarters trying to run between the tackles. But there, that time by Hetty, good job getting about 3 or 4 yards.
Here's motion from Mahalik. Castro looking for the edge and dragged down by Foster. There's that man again. Takes the helmet off of Foster. Looking for the flag. It doesn't come as the whistles blow here.
He's going to have to come out of the game.
Exactly right. Has to leave for at least one play.
Yep, make sure he's okay. As long as your head's not in the helmet when it comes off, you're okay.
Passing down here for Boerne, 3rd down and about 7 to go. See if this big offensive line can hold up the protection for Galloway. Big expectations for the O-line this year. It's a run instead. It's Hetty, and it's a touchdown. Little draw action there for Boerne. Hetty scores on 3rd down, and Boerne on top, 34-0.
I think the Trojans, we're expecting pass on third and 7. It's a perfect time to call a draw, and that's what they did right there. And Hetty doing a good job of kind of weaving his way in and out around defenders that time. And like I said, whoever came up with the idea, hey, let's make this guy a running back is a genius. Whoever came up with that idea, because he's done really well tonight running that ball.
And trying to make this a 7-point possession of his own. As he's out for the point after. Hetty through the pipes for the 5th time tonight. He has scored twice. He's made 5 extra points. Boerne is rolling 35-0. 4 minutes gone by in the 3rd on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
My My father cooked in his restaurant. My mom was the hostess. I was the coat check girl. Today, I'm still working the hardest I've ever worked, giving my viewers every tool I can to help them succeed. With insight from experts and small business owners, people who can help you get to the next level. We want you to win.
Fox Business, invested in you.
Watch Fox Business, GVTC, Channel 588.
If you want to train like the athlete, and I mean truly train like a professional athlete, you come to D1.
Athletes are the staple of what we want to be. You want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to have a smile on your face, you want to be energetic when you walk into places and just have a presence about you. And so I think D1 creates that atmosphere, and they understand the opportunity they have in taking these individuals and making them better.
D1 Boerne, the place for the athlete.
This place is going to change the way I play the game.
The Greyhounds capitalize on another short drive. Starting inside of Trojan territory, the Greyhounds cash in. Scott Hetty, an 8-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 7. His second score tonight, all Boerne, here in the season opener. Start of the 2020 high school football year. Offense, defense, and special teams, all three phases owned by the Greyhounds here tonight.
Yeah, you talk about the drives for the Greyhounds. They started at the 49 of Beeville at the 1 after that botched punt, at the 43 and the 41, and they're 4 for 4 touchdowns on all 4 possessions. And that's doing a great job of taking advantage of a short field. And that's what you have to do in a game like this. If you get a short field early on, take advantage, make it easy on the team, make it easy on the offense, put points on the board.
Harper remains at a quarterback for the Trojans. It's a run for Ambrose Patton. On first down, we were talking about Chris Sosa, all the success he's enjoyed. And again, he left Beeville Jones in 2009, and the program took a downturn after that as there's a timeout on the field. Boerne player is on the turf right now, Will Pearson. Being looked at, remember, tore a hip muscle a year ago as a sophomore and been looked at his left leg by the team trainer. 35-0 Greyhounds over the Trojans. Back after this on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
At QVC, we know shopping because we're shoppers too.
We know sometimes you want to treat others, and sometimes you just want to treat yourself.
We know it's the little things that make a house a home.
And we know what it's like to budget. It's why we started Easy Pay, so you can enjoy what you want now and pay over time with 0% interest.
We created QVC for shoppers like us and like you. QVC by shoppers.
A brief injury stoppage as Will Pearson was able to leave the field under his own power. We resume play, and Beeville Jones now faced with 3rd and short. We were talking about the story of this program again after Coach Sosa's departure in 2009. The Trojans went through 3 head coaches before his return a year ago. In those 10 seasons, the Trojans had a losing record 6 times, hitting rock bottom in 2013, going winless. So think about that. 2013, 0-10. 2019, 10-0.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of coach that he is. He's a very good coach.
Another false start here against Beeville Jones.
And Tanner McCarter pointing, saying, yep, it's against them.
False start.
And again, that 10-0 regular season finish, the first in team history. Last year, big part of the success, though, was fast starts. Beeville outscored its opponents in the first quarter 112-27, but tonight, certainly not the story there.
Well,
Boerne 21 points in the first quarter.
Right there. They got 3rd and 2. That's manageable. Instead, they go backwards 5 yards on a penalty.
On 3rd and 7. Had that been 3rd and 2, the Trojans may have converted. They do not. On the running play from Martinez, this will lead to another Trojan punt.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know. We got another injury for the Greyhounds. Looks like one of their players might be cramping. Still hot, still August, and got to drink plenty of water.
Temperatures again here in South Texas reaching triple digits today.
Yep.
And coming off the field easily, Colby Brown for the Greyhounds. So with district realignment, both teams in different districts this year.
Talk about Beeville Jones, their district. That's Murderers Row that they're in. They got Cal Allen, they got Calhoun in there. Man, that's a tough district.
Alice, Toulouse Midway, and Corpus Christi Miller as well.
Yeah, good luck there. They only picked to finish 5th are the Trojans. And there's a little bit of extracurricular going on.
And involved with that for Boerne was John Warden towards the back end of that play, but no flags, and the Greyhounds will start just shy of midfield. With the field position battle has been completely dominated by Boerne tonight. If there's a telling stat outside the score in football, it's field position. And the Trojans have been unable to flip that all night long.
Yeah, and even here, they're not starting in Trojan territory, but they're at the 48. So that's only 3 yards shorter than one of their other drives, or 3 yards longer rather. So when you have to go half the field, Galloway's not even in the game at quarterback.
Looks like his night is done with the lead at a comfortable 35-0. And now it's the coach's son, Houston Hendricks, a sophomore, and a quarterback. No keeper here for Hendricks, and a good first down play. Hendricks, along with Jackson Graves, competing for the backup job throughout fall camp.
Yeah, and Hendricks is just a sophomore. He's still growing. He looks taller to me than he did last year as a freshman. He's kind of that tall, gangly body. He's growing into it, and I like to see that they ran him that first play, just get him comfortable, take a hit or two, and then kind of settle in.
There's Dad right there, Shea Hendricks, again in his 3rd season at Boerne. First 2 years, a record of 16-7. And Hendricks winding it up, wanted to go deep, but got hit, lost the football, and the Trojans recover. Dylan Farias jumps on it for Beeville Jones. So an experimental drive of sorts there for Hendricks, and coughs it up on his second play.
Takes the hit from behind there. You see the ball pop forward, and then Johnny on the spot, jumping on the ball is Farias there to give maybe a spark to the Trojans. We'll see. They haven't been able to do much tonight, no matter where they've started, but this might be something that kind of sparked them and get them going.
For the most part, the Greyhounds did a very good job protecting the football last year, committing just 13 turnovers a year ago. As we continue to see Will Harper at quarterback for the Trojans, I wonder at what point does Coach Sosa make a change at quarterback with not much happening offensively?
Yeah, and it makes you wonder at what point, what's Beeville's strategy to finish this out? 35-0 with about 17 minutes. It's probably, it's not out of the question, but yeah, you're right. What are you going to do going forward?
Timeout taken by the Greyhounds with 5 and change left here in the 3rd quarter. We discussed the district, the gauntlet that it is for Beeville Jones.
Murderers Row.
For Boerne, Pleasanton, Uvalde, Somerset, and Lavernia.
Lavernia, very good. The only one they don't know a whole lot about is Uvalde. Uvalde was a 5A last year, and they moved down to 4A, so don't know a whole lot about them. They've played champion over the years, the last 2 years, so I'm sure Shea Hendricks can get some tape from Coach Kaiser on those guys, but yeah, that's a pretty tough district and teams that they're familiar with. Seen them a lot over the last few years.
And a disadvantage Boerne has in terms of the district schedule is that they don't get their bye until the final week of the season.
That's tough. That can be very tough.
Here's Harper off the play fake. A little swing pass to Gonzalez, and right there on the play for the Greyhounds is Cole Gentry. That's going to bring up 2nd down and long for the Trojans, a loss on the tackle from Gentry.
And Corey Francis is going back into the huddle and said, I was wide open. He broke down just a fly pattern down the sideline there, and he was wide open. Just didn't see him, and instead it ends up being a 2-yard loss, and that could have been a touchdown.
By the way, the final non-district game of the year for Boerne against Salina. That game will take place at the Alamo Dome in Week 6. A run up the gut for Martinez will bring up 3rd down and long for Beeville Jones. Again, what a year ago for this program, but the season ended abruptly in the 2nd round. El Campo, a dominant win over the Trojans in round 2. Boerne's season also ended in round 2 last year, losing to Needville.
Yep, and the 18 and 19 Greyhounds did something that no Boerne team has done since 04-05, and that's win first-round playoff games consecutive years. So it's been a while since a Boerne team has done that.
3rd and long. Harper off the play fake, a backside screen. It's Martinez backpedaling his way, reaching for the 1st down marker, but he's going to be marked short by about 1.5 yards.
I tell you, that was a good job by Luke Turner. Watch Luke Turner just doesn't give up on the play, number 27. And if he gets past Turner, he's got some room down that sideline. But see, Turner just does not give up. Finally drags him to the ground, saves a 1st down, but it is a 4th and 1, manageable 4th and 1. And if you're Beeville, you got to go for it right here.
This Greyhound defense could be stingy a year ago.
Greyhound defense right now is playing for a shutout. They wanted this thing to be zeros at the end of the night.
They've been stingy tonight. It's a run play, and squeezing through for the 1st down again is Martinez. His name called a lot here in this drive. And this the deepest the Trojans have been this evening, inside the 40-yard line.
Initial contact for the defense.
Talking about that Greyhounds winning playoff games consecutive years for the first time since 04-05. That 04 team was a state semi team. Russell Mollenhauer, Hunter Lawrence were on that team, Drew Oldest, guys that played football or baseball at the University of Texas. So that's pretty good to match those guys.
Yeah, Lawrence later kicker at the University of Texas. Downfield pass into double coverage and incomplete, looking for Ambrose Patton. Plays on both sides, by the way. Both defensive end and split end in this Trojan offense.
And I mentioned Drew Oldest. He was a walk-on at Texas that year. And Russell Mollenhauer played baseball, had that great College World Series. I think he had 4 home runs to tie the World Series record. So that's the kind of athletes they had on that team. So that was a pretty fun team to watch that year.
Time winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Beeville just trying to crack the scoreboard. Inside handoff, Leroy Gonzalez with some running room. And stop short of the 30-yard line. Will bring up 3rd down and short for a Trojan offense, which has been kept in neutral all night long. Again, a team replacing its quarterback from a year ago in Seth Gomez. Incredible leader for this offense for Beeville as part of that 10-0 regular season. Big parts of the O-line and big playmakers in the backfield, not back this year for the Trojans. It's Gonzalez again, looking for the edge, which Boerne has done such a great job of cutting off all night long. Gonzalez here is able to get the 1st down and move the chains.
Yep, Greyhounds kind of bringing some players in and out, letting different guys play, and that might be why the yardage is coming a little bit easier for the Trojans, but they still, I guarantee you, they want that shutout.
Yeah, still see a lot of 1s out there for Beeville Jones and a handful of 2s and 3s out there for Boerne. As we approach a minute to go in the 3rd, a run to the outside, and Spicer has had a tough night tonight. A year ago, he burned the Greyhounds. 3 catches for over 100 yards, 2 big scores covering over 40 yards, but he has been contained all night this evening.
Good job of pursuing there by the defense. Moreno comes in, finishes him off, but there was 3 guys around him that were ready to make that tackle. He just gets about 2 or 3 yards out of it, but like you said, not the big gainers that he had last year.
Spicer, the motion man, gets the call here. Looking to get to the outside, and again, he is cut off. Tackle in space made by Landon Lesturgeon, and that might end the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they don't have to snap the ball unless they want to. wind's not a factor, so
Tackle made by
what the hurry would be.
Sturgeon.
They got about 10 seconds to do it. They don't have to if they don't want to.
Yeah, no sense of urgency here from the Trojans, and we will go to the fourth quarter. Provided there's not a quick snap. There is not.
Nope.
And the Greyhounds, 12 minutes away from a 1-0 start, on top 35-0. Back after this on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
At QVC, we know shopping because we're shoppers too.
We know sometimes you want to treat others. And sometimes
You just want to treat yourself.
We know it's the little things that make a house a home.
And we know what it's like to budget. It's why we started Easy Pay, so you can enjoy what you want now and pay over time with 0% interest.
we created QVC for shoppers like us. And like you. QVC, by shoppers for shoppers.
Miles beneath the surface of Yellowstone stands a supervolcano. When it last erupted, molten ash spread as far as California and Missouri. Is the next eruption imminent? A new series explores what happens when Mother Nature turns on humanity. Apocalypse Earth. All new Sundays at 9 on History.
Watch History Channel, GVTC, Channel 557.
Let's see.
Start of the fourth quarter, Boerne 12 minutes away from a season-opening win. Third down play for the Trojans to start things off here in the fourth. Spicer close to first down for Beeville Jones.
Looks like he got it, and the ball acted like it was a basketball because it bounced straight up. You normally don't get that out of a ball with corners like the football has.
Of course, the season starting tonight for Boerne, but the neighbors across the way, Boerne champion, will wait a few more weeks. Season will begin September 25th for the Chargers.
Yeah, what a season the Chargers are coming off. State semifinal appearance last year.
Running play up the gut for Martinez as the Trojans inch closer to their first points of the night.
13 wins by the Chargers last year. That's the most in Boerne ISD history. They were tied for 12 with the 04 team that made it to the state semis, but there's another round now, so they got that 13th win and have the record by themselves.
An offense which again put up close to 40 points a game a year ago, looking for his first points tonight. And there's Spicer, nice athletic move, leaping inside the 5. And goal to go coming up now for Beeville Jones. Now see a few more starters trickling back in there for Boerne. Thought we were going to see Tanner McCarter re-enter the game. What a great opportunity this is for Coach Hendricks to have the luxury of working in your 2s and 3s in the season opener.
Yeah, definitely. And, they need work just like everybody else.
Here's a run to the edge, to the end zone, and Beeville Jones is on the board. Leroy Gonzalez on the play there for the Trojans. And they prevent the shutout tonight for Boerne.
Yeah, and you see Gonzalez, he just gets to the edge. That's something they've had a hard time doing tonight, but that time he's able to get there and score and gets them on the board, races the shutout, and you got to feel good about that if you're Beeville, and then to Boerne, there goes the shutout, but you're still up pretty comfortable, so.
And Caleb Washington's point after is good. And the Trojans have their first 7 of 2020. But a 28-point Boerne lead early in the fourth quarter on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
Miles beneath the surface of Yellowstone stands a supervolcano. When it last erupted, molten ash spread as far as California and Missouri. Is the next eruption imminent? A new series explores what happens when Mother Nature turns on humanity. Apocalypse Earth. All new Sundays at 9 on History.
Watch History Channel, GVTC, Channel 557.
So Beeville Jones, a long drive consuming more than 6 minutes, results in a touchdown run for Leroy Gonzalez, preventing the shutout tonight for the Greyhounds on opening night. A very small blemish in what has been an otherwise dominant Friday turned in by Boerne.
Yeah, that was a good drive by Beeville. That's something to build on for the next week. They go 13 plays, 47 yards. Took them all to 6:55, so the Greyhounds made them earn it. But they were able to score and get that goose egg off the board. I think at this point with 10:21, I think it's just about running the ball, maybe try to get just to keep the clock moving as much as possible for both teams.
Kerry and I were talking about the success for Coach Hendricks over the past couple of seasons, guiding this program to back-to-back playoff wins and back-to-back years, a first in 15 years for Boerne. As a short kickoff is returned by the Greyhounds, Pearson stumbles inside of midfield. For a second, that looked like it could have gone a long way. And the Greyhounds set up shop again right around midfield. Well, when talking about Coach Hendricks and the program, he really emphasized how much he likes being here in Boerne. As you see again, one tackle perhaps away for Pearson. Very pleased with what they've been able to accomplish so far, Kerry. And with the experience they have back, he feels really good about the team this year.
Yeah, that's something we talked about is, okay, Coach, you won playoff games last 2 years. What does it take to get to that second round and win?
First down play doesn't yield a whole lot there for Gentry. As Hendricks remains at a quarterback, the night again is done for Rashawn Galloway. And Galloway, awfully impressive tonight. 2 touchdown passes, only 1 incompletion.
And that one was just a throwaway. He just threw it away. He could have probably ran the ball if he wanted.
Hendricks with his first completion, just shy of the 40-yard line. Catch made by Camden Atterbury.
Yeah, Atterbury gets an attaboy from the coaches. Great catch. Watch him haul it in, just barehanded right there like that. He does a good job turning it upfield and getting almost the first down. It's going to be about a 3rd and 1 here.
Still see Hetty in the backfield for Boerne. Jacob Ramirez at tight end, but for the most part, you're seeing a lot of backups out there right now for the Greyhounds. Here's Hendricks on the keeper. Hendricks the play inside the 30. He's still running inside the 20-yard line, shaking off tacklers, flexing his muscles inside the red zone.
And Hendricks is another guy that's a very good athlete for the Greyhounds. As you see his athleticism here, he's a guy, he's a very good basketball player, plays baseball for the Greyhounds, like Galloway, 3-sport star for them.
William Harper and Aiden Aguilar.
21-yard gainer.
Approaching 9 minutes to go in the 4th. Hendricks trying to engineer a scoring drive, but Gentry is denied. See 3 different Trojans on the tackle. A group led by Jaime Del Bosque will bring up 2nd down and long. Boerne again out to a 1-0 start. Up next for the Greyhounds, Splendora in San Marcos next Friday.
And that's a beautiful stadium. Well, you know, you work at Texas State, so that San Marcos High School Stadium is a great high school stadium.
The Rattlers used to share a stadium with Texas State for many years, up until about 5 years ago when they got their own stadium. That pass nearly a pick 6 the other way for Andre Trevino. And boy, don't you know there'll be a father-son talk about that one.
Yeah, well, if you're going to throw to the edge like you are here, you can't be short on it. You got to get it out there. You can't leave it short, because if the cornerback jumps the route like that, it could be quick 6 the other way. Pick 6 quickly the other way.
Trevino, an all-district corner a year ago, getting a breather now for the Trojans. Had 3 picks last year. Hendricks escapes trouble and finally wrapped up just short of the 15-yard line by Ambrose Patton. Took a hard hit from behind. Brings up 4th down.
Tackle made by
So
Cam
here, do you
Rose.
go for it, or do you let Hetty get out there and kind of see what he can do with his leg, just to kind of see what kind of range he's got? Looks like they're going to go for it, though.
You have your answer here, Kerry.
Yeah.
And the Trojans jump. A free play for Hendricks. Takes his shot. That could have been picked, but again with the flag, it wouldn't have mattered.
I don't know that they called it. Did they throw a flag?
Sure looked like the Trojans jumped offsides.
I agree. I thought they jumped, but I don't. And I think that's why they threw it like that, like the free play. But I don't know that the flag actually came out.
They didn't. And the Greyhound players looked confused. I don't think Hendricks throws that pass without the offsides jump.
I agree. That's the play. When a guy jumps, you throw it downfield. Just a free play like that, and well, don't quite see the start of it, but I thought it was an offsides, but maybe at this point of the game, 8 minutes, 28-point ball game, they're just going to let it go.
Boerne on the road the next 2 weeks after taking on Splendora in San Marcos next Friday. At Burnett to face the Bulldogs in Week 3. Next home game, Week 4 against Sweetwater. That'll be our next broadcast of Greyhounds football. First down run for Beeville Jones. And bottled up is Isaiah Gonzalez.
Well, and you mentioned some of those teams that the Greyhounds haven't played, but because of the COVID situation, everything's different.
Yep.
They usually play Holy Cross. They played Antonian over the years, but those are TAP schools. They can't start till after Labor Day, so all the 4A and smaller had to scramble once all that happened to try to find opponents. So that's why Boerne's playing teams they never played before.
And again, 5A and 6A cannot start until September 25th. Here's a big run up the middle.
Fumble.
And the ball loose. Who's got it? Looks like Boerne has it, but right there for the Trojans in the area is Corey Francis. And they're going to rule it's Beeville football.
There was, that was close. There was two players basically fighting for it. I guess Francis had more of the ball. And they let them keep it. And they get the first down out on that play. It was actually a 18-yard run.
So now if you're Beeville, you're trying to win the half. It was 28-0 Boerne at the end of 2 quarters. Since then, the two teams, albeit with different personnel, have played even. Harper hit as he threw that football. Leads to an incomplete pass that will bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, trying to win the half if you're Beeville. But I think if you're the Greyhounds and that happens and if they're able to score, I think you take that with a grain of salt because it's their ones probably against some of your 2s and 3s and some of your 1s, of course. But so that's the numbers behind the numbers is if they do outscore them here, it's with some backups and all that in there. And you're getting guys valuable experience right now if you're the Greyhounds.
We talked about the linebacking core earlier. Elijah Marshall leading that group in terms of returners. Jeff Medina, loss from a year ago. How about Tanner Lundy? Brought up late last year from the JV team. And Coach Hendricks has big expectations for him. They moved him to Mike linebacker this season.
Yeah, and you mentioned Marshall, second team inside linebacker. So haven't called his name a lot tonight, but he's going to be a big part of that Greyhound team going forward. And, of course, Lundy, like you said, just a sophomore, but high hopes for him.
On 3rd down, a run up the middle, and the ball may have come loose again. It did. And Boerne recovers.
J.J. Freeman calls on the loose ball.
So the Greyhounds recover, get the turnover, and set up shop inside the 40-yard line.
And you're going to see J.J. Freeman come up with it right there. Just falls on it. Ball's right in front of him. Good job seeing the ball and just kind of falling on it. Didn't pick it up, try to score. Just get the ball and give your team a chance to score here.
And there is the turnover green bear, I guess. Be interested to hear the story about that. Not exactly a turnover chain, but it works.
Well, it's high school, so, yeah, they have crazy traditions like that.
You know, we've discussed Hendricks at quarterback as the backup tonight behind Galloway. Also should note that Hendricks starting at safety for the Greyhounds. Nice move here by the sophomore down to the 30-yard line. He fills the void left behind defensively from Garrett Moroz. Yes. Moroz and Medina at linebacker, Moroz at safety combined for over 200 tackles a year ago. So those are two big parts of the defense for Boerne, not back this year.
Yeah, those are big. Those were big cogs in their defensive machine last year. That's for sure. And have to have when those guys graduate, you got to have guys step up. And right now, you're seeing that by the Greyhound defense, only giving up 7 points tonight.
More than halfway through this fourth quarter. Again, Boerne a 21-point first quarter, and they have dominated throughout. This is a touchdown pass. How about that from Houston Hendricks? Hooks up with Jackson Graves. And the first touchdown of the career of the sophomore, the coach's son, Houston Hendricks.
And it looked like Hendricks had 2 targets that he could have thrown to that time. 2 guys got behind the receiver. Looked like Ramirez maybe also got back there. You see 88 right there as well, and so does a good job finding Graves, and so far it's been a great night for the Greyhounds all the way around.
Beat the coverage from Washington over the top before the PAT. The whistle's blown for a false start. And that'll back things up here for Scott Hetty. So again, this is not a case of Boerne running up the score here. This is about Coach Hendricks giving his second and third unit an opportunity to see what they're made of.
Yeah, and Beeville's, I think, got most of their starters in. So, it's ones you got to make stops and make tackles. That's just a great throw by Hendricks that time.
So Hetty will try from further out now after the 5-yard penalty. Hetty's point after is good again.
Marker on the play.
All Greyhounds on top, 42-7. 5 and change left in the fourth quarter. Back after this on the Greyhounds Sports Network.
Miles beneath the surface of Yellowstone stands a supervolcano. When it last erupted, molten ash spread as far as California and Missouri. Is the next eruption imminent? A new series explores what happens when Mother Nature turns on humanity. Apocalypse Earth. All new Sundays at 9 on History.
Watch History Channel, GVTC, Channel 557.
Earlier in this fourth quarter, Houston Hendricks was pretty close to throwing a touchdown the other way. A bad pass that could have been picked off for a pick six was dropped, but able to recover from that misfire and then throws a touchdown pass moments ago, hooking up with Jackson Graves, and the coach's son, Houston Hendricks, has his first career touchdown pass.
Yep, and with that touchdown, the Greyhounds have scored in all 4 quarters, so they've done a nice job. Came out strong in that first half, as you saw, especially in that first quarter, but they've scored consistently every quarter. That's nice, and you've done it with basically with Rashawn Galloway, your starter, on the bench for the whole second half. So it's been a great night all the way around. Like you said, all 3 phases, special teams, offense, defense, everything's clicking. Does not look like a first game of the season for the Greyhounds.
And I go back to what Coach Hendricks talked to us about leading up to the game, the balance he wants in offense. We'll look at Boerne. 6 touchdowns tonight for the Greyhounds, 3 on the ground, 3 through the air.
Yeah, and again, they did a great job, and we talked about this a while ago, just taking advantage of short fields. Again, that's another touchdown. Freeman comes up with a recovery. They got another short field, and I believe that's 5 touchdowns where they've started in Beeville territory. So very opportunistic defense, giving the Greyhound offense short fields to work with.
Could be one of the final possessions of the game here for Beeville Jones. Only touchdown for the Trojans came on the run from Leroy Gonzalez early in this fourth quarter. And again, if you're Beeville Jones, the game has been over for a while in terms of the outcome, but what can they build upon heading into the Week 2 game coming up next Friday against Sinton?
Yeah, and you know, they'll have, what, 3 or 4 more non-district games, whatever it is, so they've got time to work on stuff, and it's really about what you do in district. I've seen teams go 5-0 in non-district and then go 0-5 in district, and they're sitting at home. So, you know, you're not gonna. This isn't going to make or break your season. What happens tonight, and so you got to take the positives, correct what you can, and I think the biggest thing for them is just kind of getting guys experience, because that first quarter, those guys, they were kind of wide-eyed. You could kind of see them learning, and they went backwards and on some of their plays and drives, and so I just think they got to go back at it. Go back to the drawing board Monday. This one game's not going to cost you anything other than a perfect season at this point. So, and this is their first loss since 2018.
Yeah, first regular season loss for Beeville Jones in 2 seasons. To the outside, Spicer down the sidelines. Makes a cut inside and dragged down right around the 43. Best run tonight for Jalen Spicer, who has been kept in check all night long. Mentioned that Sinton is up next in schedule for Beeville Jones. In Week 3, they go to Canyon Lake, and last we heard, the Hawks were up on Wimberley at the half, 14-7.
That's some pretty good teams right there. Good 38-yard run that time by Spicer.
Beeville Jones, so explosive a year ago. They've been lacking the home run plays here tonight. We've chronicled that. 5 touchdowns in this game a year ago, 3 of them covering 40 yards or more, 2 from Spicer. But you have not seen that explosive play tonight from Beeville Jones. And it comes again with the territory of a new season, a new roster, a new quarterback, a new offensive line. It's tough to establish that kind of rhythm so early when so much is new.
Yeah, and you had a once-in-a-lifetime type of season, 10-0. I don't think it's ever been done. So.
Harper taking a shot for Washington, but underthrown. Downfield coverage from Caleb Porch. 3rd and 3 now for the Trojans as we approach 3 minutes to go here in the season opener.
3rd down.
And we know the kind of coach that Coach Souza is. He's a great coach, and he's going to take what he can. And they'll be, I think by the time they get to district, they're going to be a lot better. But, boy, that's we've talked about it. That district, they got to go that gauntlet of Cal Allen. Cal Allen almost has been to the state things every year, it just seems like, at the 5A level. Now they're going down to 4A.
And there's a nice run from Joseph Chapa. That'll move the change for the Trojans.
Cal Allen was the team to beat in Region 4 at the 5A level. Now they're going down the whole division. They're going to make some serious noise down at that 4A level.
On first down, Spicer slung down inside the 20. Trojans inside the red zone as we come up on 2 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Big weekend here in Texas. Again, a lot of doubt. You go back to May and June whether or not there would be high school football this year. A lot of work was done to make sure this night could happen across the state. Of course, those in 5A and 6A are still waiting a few more weeks, but 4A and lower all getting high school football back this week. This is a very important Friday night around the state.
Yeah, I agree. And we didn't know just until a few weeks ago what was going to happen, and they did the split, the 5A, 6A thing. So here we go. Doran in the corner. Nope.
Yeah, broke it up nicely there from the Greyhound defensive back, Bradley Morrison, on the pass intended for Isaiah Gonzalez. It's going to bring up 2nd down, make it 3rd down for the Trojans.
It's like Colby Brown on the defense. He turns around there at the last second.
Colby Brown, yep, good catch there. And now 3rd down coming up for Beeville Jones. Trojans angling for one more scoring drive before closing the book on the season opener. Harper back to pass. Again for the end zone and overthrew Spicer. Had the angle on the defender, but got turned around.
Yeah, and he kind of stopped his route. I think he thought it was going to be shorter. I don't think he thought the quarterback was going to put that much oomph under it, and he got some air under it. And if Spicer keeps running, he might have it near the pylon. But you're talking about this season, going into the summer, with every spring sport being canceled, we just had no idea what the fall was going to be like. And then there was a spike around the 4th of July with COVID. We just didn't know, and it's sure nice to be out here covering a football game.
The quarterback, Harper, has not run a lot tonight. Gomez, the quarterback a year ago, the last 2 years, such a big factor in the run game for Beeville Jones as they move the chains down to the 10-yard line. Mentioned Canyon Lake earlier. Boerne scrimmaged against the Hawks last week, and Coach Hendricks very impressed with what he saw at the scrimmage. One player who really stood out, but whose name we have not called tonight, Riley Pekachik, played so well last week in the scrimmage.
Sure did. Had several big plays, big gainers, 30, 40 yards, and just haven't, had to use them tonight. But it looks like we got in there, a touchdown for Beeville.
It is. Joseph Chapa churns his way to the goal line. And the Trojans piece together their second touchdown of the night, both coming here in the fourth quarter.
Pekachik, though, mentioned him. He's only a sophomore, so his future is very bright based on what we saw in that scrimmage against Canyon Lake. And I think that's one thing, scrimmaging Canyon Lake, I think really helped prepare Boerne for this game because it's the same type of offense, and they kind of got a preview of it last week.
Point after is wide to the right for Washington. Remains a 42-13 game. Of course, Canyon Lake coached by Charlie Drum, and yes, a very similar slot T triple option kind of offense. And you're right, Kerry, you could not have asked for a better opponent to prepare you for Beeville Jones in the immediate area than Canyon Lake.
Yeah, and Canyon Lake, former district foe of the Greyhounds over the years, and I remember one game where they played where they had a 20-play drive against the Greyhounds and took almost the whole quarter. And I think there was only 8 possessions in that whole game, 8 or 9 possessions. And that's ideal if you're a running team, a slot T, wing team, however you go about it. That's what you want to do: shorten the game, limit possessions, put points on the board, and then just kind of shorten that game. And that's Beeville's goal. They weren't able to do that tonight because I thought the Greyhound defense came up strong in the first 2 drives, held them to negative 10 yards, and then the offense was scoring for the Greyhounds. So that put a lot of pressure on Beeville, and it kind of took them out of their game. And you mentioned it earlier, they're a team that likes to get ahead. They keep the clock running, but when they fall behind, they have to get away from their comfort zone and do things they don't like to do, and that's throw a little bit more. And you kind of saw that happen tonight where Boerne kind of took them out of their game and just dictated who's going to dictate tempo in games like that. And the Greyhounds did it tonight, and that's why they're winning 42-13.
Little squib from Washington. And the return man for the Greyhounds, Atterbury, goes down. And might see a couple of runs or a couple of kneel downs here for the Greyhounds, and that'll wrap things up here in week 1.
Yeah, and I expected an onside kick. Why not? This stuff you got to work on in game time situations. This is what gets you ready for. So even the game's out of hand with just a minute to go, of course you're going to practice these types of things because there's nothing that simulates a real game like a real game. You can't simulate it in a scrimmage and in practice. So Beeville's working on everything, and like you said, Boerne here, a couple options, probably maybe a couple handoffs or just take a knee. Taking a knee because they got Hetty out there. So
it looks like Jake Green comes out to take the snaps at quarterback to wrap things up here. Kneel down is taken, and actually for the Greyhounds, that was Jackson Graves, who again was battling Hendricks for the backup quarterback job throughout fall camp. One more kneel down should do it. And the Greyhounds, who were so good in non-district play last year, going 5-1, only blemish coming in double overtime against rival Fredericksburg, get non-district play off to the right foot again here in 2020. A dominant 42-13 win over the Trojans, avenging a loss to Beeville Jones a year ago.
Definitely
Jackson Graves takes the game
well
to bring this game to a close.
Well-played game. by the Greyhounds. Offense, defense. Not so much special teams. They didn't have a whole lot, but when Beeville wanted to punt, they had that fumble and that kind of turn. Gave Boerne a very short field. And you see the players, they don't get to shake hands anymore. They're just kind of waving at the other team and say, thanks, guys, good game, and that's where it's going to end. But great performance. I think you got to be very happy with Coach Hendricks with your debut, 42-13. I would have not. If you'd asked me how's this game going to go, there's 2 or 3 different scenarios, but I would have never thought 42-13 blowout. But they did it. Great game for the Greyhounds, and a lot to build on going into next week.
And that's going to wrap up our coverage of the high school football season opener. All Boerne tonight, 42-13 over Beeville. On behalf of our entire Greyhound Sports Network crew and my broadcast partner, Kerry Barboza, I'm Brian Freeman saying good night from Boerne, Texas.